It starts with a moment, one we've all experienced. You're standing in the middle of a bustling crowd, or perhaps sitting alone in a quiet room, and this wave of emptiness washes over you. Everything looks fine on the surface. You might have the things you've worked for, the people who care about you, even a few moments of success that should make you feel proud. But deep down, there's a nagging thought. Is this it? Is this what life is supposed to feel like? It's not sadness exactly, nor is it joy. It's a kind of restless yearning, like something essential is missing. You start looking for answers, through achievements, relationships, possessions, even distractions. But nothing seems to settle that quiet ache inside. What's worse, the harder you search, the further the answer feels. That's where the real journey begins, not in seeking something outside, but in learning to shift the way you see and feel within. Let's pause for a second. Picture a moment from your life when everything felt chaotic, like life was demanding too much from you all at once. Maybe it was the deadlines piling up, a misunderstanding with a loved one, or simply the exhaustion that comes from trying to keep up with the world's relentless pace. In that moment, didn't you feel the urge to just stop and ask, why is this so hard? Why does peace feel so out of reach? Now think back to another moment, a simple one. Perhaps it was a quiet afternoon spent watching the sky change colors, a heartfelt conversation where you felt truly understood, or even the warmth of a stranger's smile on a particularly hard day. That fleeting moment brought you a sense of calm, a kind of happiness that didn't need bells and whistles to feel meaningful. The contrast between those two experiences highlights something profound. It's not the grand events or massive achievements that bring lasting joy. It's often the smallest, most overlooked moments that carry the greatest weight. Let's talk about someone whose story might feel familiar. Ravi was the kind of person everyone thought had it all together. He had a stable job, a decent apartment, and a group of friends who were always there to celebrate birthdays and milestones. On weekends, he'd scroll through social media, watching influencers jet off to picturesque locations or post photos of their seemingly perfect lives. He would think to himself, if only I had what they have, then I'd feel happy. So Ravi set out to chase those things. He worked extra hours to save for his dream vacation, thinking that a trip to an exotic beach would finally fill that hollow feeling he couldn't shake. He started buying nicer clothes, trying to upgrade his appearance, hoping it would make him feel more confident. He even began saying yes to every social event, thinking that being busy and surrounded by people would silence the whispers of discontent in his heart. For a while, it seemed to work. When he finally made it to that tropical paradise, he felt a rush of excitement. The photos he posted got hundreds of likes, and his friends complimented him on how amazing his life looked. But as the days passed, that familiar ache returned, creeping in quietly but surely. He realized that even while sipping cocktails on a white sandy beach, he couldn't escape his own restless mind. One evening, back at home, Ravi sat in his small, cluttered apartment. He was scrolling through his phone, feeling that same emptiness, when he came across an old video. It showed a group of monks laughing together while sweeping the courtyard of a simple monastery. They didn't have designer clothes, exotic vacations, or the approval of millions of followers. Yet their laughter was so genuine, their faces so peaceful, that it struck something deep in Ravi's heart. He couldn't understand it. These monks had so little, yet they radiated something he couldn't put into words, something he wanted more than anything. Curiosity got the better of him, and he started reading about the way they lived. What he learned surprised him. Their happiness didn't come from what they owned or achieved. It came from the way they approached life itself. They found joy in the present moment, contentment in simplicity, and fulfillment in giving rather than taking. That realization hit Ravi like a wave. He had spent so much time chasing happiness outside himself that he had ignored the possibility that it might be something he could create within. Ravi's story isn't unique. It's the story of countless people trying to navigate a world that constantly tells us happiness is just one more promotion, one more purchase, or one more achievement away. It's the endless cycle of chasing something only to find that, once we've caught it, the joy slips through our fingers like sand. What if we stopped chasing and started living differently? What if happiness wasn't something we had to hunt down, but something we could uncover by changing how we see ourselves, others, and the world? The answer lies in practices that have been around for centuries, quietly waiting for us to rediscover them. They aren't complicated or reserved for monks in faraway monasteries. They're principles anyone can adopt, right here, right now, regardless of where life has taken you so far. It won't always be easy. Letting go of old habits and beliefs can feel uncomfortable, even scary at times. But as Ravi discovered, the rewards are worth it. When we start to see life through a new lens, one that prioritizes presence, gratitude, and connection over constant striving, something magical happens. The noise quiets, the restlessness fades, and we begin to feel a kind of happiness that doesn't depend on circumstances or the approval of others. This isn't about perfection or getting everything right. It's about small, intentional shifts, moments of mindfulness, acts of kindness, and a willingness to embrace life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. These changes may seem small at first, but over time they add up, creating a foundation of joy and resilience that can carry us through even the toughest challenges. As Ravi began incorporating these practices into his daily routine, something remarkable happened. He no longer felt the need to chase after external markers of success or happiness. He found joy in sipping his morning tea without distractions, in reconnecting with friends without the pressure to impress, and in simply being present with himself. The emptiness that had haunted him for years began to fade, replaced by a quiet sense of contentment he hadn't thought possible. And while life didn't suddenly become perfect, because it never is, he realized that true happiness had been within his reach all along. It just took a shift in perspective to see it. This story is more than Ravi's. It's yours, mine, and anyone else's who has ever longed for something deeper, something real. It's an invitation to step off the treadmill of endless striving and discover a way of living that feels lighter, freer, and more meaningful. Because in the end, happiness isn't something we find, it's something we create. And it starts with how we choose to live each moment. As the ache for happiness stirs within us, we begin to wonder why so much of life feels like a chase. Is it possible that we've been looking in the wrong places all along? If the external achievements and possessions fail to quiet the restless yearning, could the answer lie somewhere we've overlooked? The heart of the matter doesn't reside in what we have, but in who we are when the noise fades away. This is the quiet revelation that opens the door to an inner journey, one that starts within and leads to the kind of fulfillment that can never be taken away. When we peel back the layers of distractions and desires, what remains is the raw essence of our being, the part of us that craves peace, connection, and purpose. It's here, in this unpolished truth, that the foundation of happiness begins to take shape. This isn't about settling or turning away from the world. It's about stepping into the richness of life with a sense of wholeness that doesn't rely on external validation. The work begins with understanding the core truths about our inner lives and cultivating habits that support lasting joy. At its root, true happiness is a relationship we build with ourselves. This relationship starts with self-awareness, learning to listen to the inner voice that often gets drowned out by the clamor of daily life. It's easy to dismiss our feelings, to push aside discomfort in the hopes of powering through the day. Yet, by acknowledging these emotions instead of suppressing them, we begin to unravel the hidden needs beneath the surface. Happiness isn't the absence of struggle, it's the ability to remain anchored in the midst of it. When we approach our inner world with curiosity rather than judgment, we unlock the first door to fulfillment. Self-compassion is a cornerstone of this journey. Many people are kind to others but harshly critical of themselves, carrying a relentless inner critic that measures every flaw. Yet, would you speak to a dear friend the way you speak to yourself? True happiness arises when we learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and forgiveness we readily offer others. It's not indulgence, it's the recognition that we too are deserving of care. This shift softens the sharp edges of self-doubt, allowing us to grow without fear of failure. Gratitude deepens this process, not as a fleeting moment of appreciation, but as a way of seeing the world. It's about training the mind to notice what's present instead of fixating on what's missing. Gratitude is a practice, one that transforms ordinary days into extraordinary moments. The beauty of this mindset lies in its accessibility. It doesn't require wealth, status, or a picture-perfect life. A warm cup of tea, a kind word from a stranger, or the feeling of sunlight on your face can become sources of immense joy when viewed through the lens of gratitude. Another pillar of inner happiness is learning to embrace stillness. In a world that glorifies busyness, pausing can feel almost unnatural, yet it's in stillness that we find clarity. When the noise of the outside world fades, we are left with ourselves, unmasked and vulnerable. This can be unsettling at first, but it is also liberating. In stillness, we begin to understand what truly matters. This understanding helps us prioritize not only our time, but our energy, directing it toward pursuits that nourish rather than drain us. Inner happiness also thrives on a sense of purpose. Purpose is not synonymous with ambition. It's about aligning actions with values that resonate deeply. A purpose-driven life isn't necessarily one filled with grand achievements. It's one where each day feels meaningful. Whether it's nurturing a relationship, creating something beautiful, or contributing to the well-being of others, purpose transforms ordinary tasks into acts of fulfillment. Purpose gives us a reason to rise each day, anchoring us in the present while guiding us toward a brighter tomorrow. The way we perceive challenges plays a significant role in our inner contentment. Life is unpredictable, often presenting us with circumstances we'd rather avoid. Yet, happiness is not about escaping pain, but about how we respond to it. Challenges, when met with courage and resilience, become opportunities for growth. They teach us patience, strengthen our resolve, and remind us of the depth of our inner resources. Each obstacle overcome adds a layer of wisdom to our lives, making us not just happier, but more capable of sustaining that happiness. Connection with others is an extension of our inner work. The relationships we cultivate are a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. By approaching others with empathy and understanding, we create bonds that uplift and sustain us. These connections are not about seeking validation, but about sharing in the joy and complexity of life. When we are comfortable in our own skin, we can show up authentically for others, creating a ripple effect of kindness and mutual respect. A significant part of building this inner foundation is learning to let go of what no longer serves us. Whether it's toxic relationships, outdated beliefs, or material clutter, holding on to the unnecessary weighs us down. Releasing these attachments creates space for new experiences and possibilities. Letting go is not a loss, it's an act of liberation. It allows us to move forward unburdened, free to embrace life with open arms. Happiness also requires that we cultivate a sense of balance. It's easy to lean too far into one aspect of life, work, relationships, or personal goals, at the expense of others. True contentment comes from honoring all facets of our existence. This includes taking care of our physical health, nurturing our mental well-being, and making time for rest and play. Balance doesn't mean perfection. It means remaining adaptable and attentive to our needs as they evolve. Simplicity is another powerful element of happiness. In stripping away the excess, we uncover the essence of what truly matters. Simplicity isn't about deprivation. It's about choosing quality over quantity in every aspect of life. This applies to how we spend our time, the possessions we keep, and even the thoughts we entertain. By simplifying, we create room for joy to flourish. As we deepen our understanding of inner happiness, we realize that it's not a destination, but a practice. It requires patience, self-reflection, and a willingness to grow. Each day presents an opportunity to start anew, to align more closely with our values, and to cultivate the habits that bring us peace. The foundation of happiness is built brick by brick, with each moment of kindness, gratitude, and purpose adding to its strength. The journey inward is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. It offers a kind of joy that external circumstances can't shake, a joy that remains steady even in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. As we begin to anchor our happiness within, we discover a truth that is both simple and transformative. The life we've been searching for has been within us all along. In this realization lies the ultimate freedom, the kind that empowers us to live fully, love deeply, and experience the world with a sense of wonder and gratitude that transcends fleeting pleasures. It's here, in this inner foundation, that we begin to understand the true meaning of happiness. When life is stripped to its essence, the simplest truths often carry the most profound weight. The foundation of happiness lies within, but what we choose to build upon that foundation transforms the way we experience the world. In every moment, there exists an opportunity to view life through a lens of scarcity or abundance, and this choice shapes our reality more than we often realize. Gratitude is that lens of abundance. It is the subtle, powerful shift that turns the mundane into the miraculous and the fleeting into the eternal. Gratitude is not merely an emotion, it is a practice, a way of engaging with life that reshapes the way we think, feel, and act. It pulls us out of the endless loop of wanting more and grounds us in the richness of what already is. Yet, it is not always natural to see what we have as enough. The world constantly pushes us to compare, to desire, to seek what lies beyond our grasp. Gratitude invites us to pause and take stock of the blessings we often overlook. It is a deliberate, transformative act of rewiring the mind to focus on abundance rather than lack. At its core, gratitude requires presence. It asks us to step away from the distractions that dominate our lives and truly see what surrounds us. The smallest details, a warm cup of tea, the sound of laughter, the feeling of the sun on your skin, can become sources of profound joy when viewed through a grateful heart. This shift doesn't just change how we feel in the moment, it changes how our brains are wired to perceive the world. Studies in neuroscience reveal that practicing gratitude activates regions of the brain associated with emotional regulation and positive thinking. It's not simply an act of noticing good things, it is a physical, chemical shift in how we process life. Gratitude also strengthens relationships. When we acknowledge the contributions of others, we deepen our connections and create bonds built on mutual respect and appreciation. Expressing gratitude to someone is a powerful way to validate their presence in our lives. It's a simple yet profound act that transforms interactions, replacing transactional exchanges with meaningful connection. A heartfelt thank you has the power to heal wounds, resolve conflicts, and inspire acts of kindness that ripple far beyond the moment. The practice of gratitude cultivates resilience. In life's most challenging moments, it is easy to fixate on loss, frustration, or pain. Yet even in difficulty, gratitude has the ability to anchor us. It redirects our focus to what remains rather than what is gone, and to what can be learned rather than what was lost. By acknowledging even the smallest flickers of light in dark times, we build the strength to endure and grow. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about finding balance, honoring the difficulty while choosing to also see what's still good. Gratitude transforms the way we view success. Instead of chasing an ever-moving finish line, gratitude grounds us in the present. It reminds us to celebrate progress rather than perfection, to value the journey instead of waiting for the destination. This shift liberates us from the constant pressure to do more, be more, and achieve more. It allows us to savor accomplishments, no matter how small, and to find fulfillment in effort itself rather than the outcome. A daily gratitude practice can take many forms. Writing down a few things you are grateful for each day trains the mind to focus on the positive. Speaking words of appreciation to others strengthens relationships. Taking a moment before meals to silently acknowledge the effort and resources that made the food possible can turn an ordinary routine into a sacred act. These practices are not just symbolic gestures. They are tools for reshaping our mindset and reinforcing the habit of gratitude. Gratitude also deepens our relationship with time. In our rush to plan for the future or dwell on the past, we often overlook the beauty of the present moment. Gratitude roots us firmly in the now, reminding us that life is not lived in the someday, but in the seconds ticking by. Each moment holds a treasure waiting to be recognized: a fleeting sunset, the kindness of a stranger, the quiet satisfaction of a job well done. Gratitude sharpens our awareness of these moments, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. Practicing gratitude also fosters humility. It shifts our focus away from the ego's desires and toward a broader awareness of the interconnectedness of life. Recognizing the roles others play in our lives, whether through direct support or through the countless unseen efforts that make our world function, cultivates a sense of wonder and appreciation. Gratitude is not about taking credit. It's about giving thanks for the myriad contributions that allow us to thrive. Even nature becomes a source of gratitude when we learn to pause and truly see it. The cycles of the seasons, the resilience of a single tree, or the delicate complexity of a flower, all remind us of life's beauty and interconnectedness. Gratitude for the natural world nurtures a sense of belonging and stewardship, encouraging us to care for the earth, not out of obligation, but out of love. Gratitude also strengthens our mental health. It acts as a counterbalance to the brain's natural negativity bias, the tendency to focus on threats, failures, and shortcomings. By consciously practicing gratitude, we train our minds to seek out and amplify the positive. This doesn't mean ignoring life's challenges, but it does mean creating a mental environment where joy and appreciation can coexist with struggle. Over time, this rewiring helps reduce anxiety, combat depression, and enhance overall well-being. In moments of stress or overwhelm, gratitude serves as a grounding force. Pausing to reflect on even the smallest blessings can interrupt cycles of worry and bring a sense of calm. Gratitude doesn't solve problems, but it does provide perspective, reminding us that even in chaos, there is still beauty, support, and strength to be found. The practice of gratitude also fosters generosity. When we feel grateful, we are more inclined to give, not out of obligation, but out of a genuine desire to share the abundance we feel. Gratitude and generosity create a virtuous cycle, where each act of giving inspires greater appreciation, and each act of appreciation inspires greater giving. This cycle not only enriches our own lives, but also uplifts the lives of others, creating a ripple effect of kindness and connection. Even failures and setbacks can become sources of gratitude when viewed through the right lens. Every mistake holds a lesson, every disappointment an opportunity for growth. Gratitude helps us find meaning in these experiences, transforming them from sources of regret into stepping stones for a better future. This perspective doesn't erase the difficulty of these moments, but it does provide a way to move forward with hope and resilience. Gratitude also enhances physical health. Research has shown that grateful people are more likely to engage in healthy behaviors such as exercising, eating well, and getting enough sleep. This connection isn't coincidental. Gratitude fosters a mindset of care and respect for oneself, encouraging actions that support long-term well-being. The act of practicing gratitude itself can even lower stress levels and improve cardiovascular health, creating a direct link between appreciation and physical vitality. In cultivating gratitude, we also learn to let go of entitlement. When we expect the world to meet our every desire, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Gratitude teaches us to approach life with a sense of humility and wonder, appreciating what we receive rather than fixating on what we lack. This shift fosters contentment, reducing the constant need for more and allowing us to fully enjoy what we already have. Gratitude has the power to heal not only our individual lives, but also our communities. When gratitude becomes a shared practice, it fosters connection, trust, and a sense of belonging. Acts of appreciation, whether a simple thank you or a heartfelt acknowledgement, strengthen bonds and build bridges. In a world often marked by division, gratitude serves as a unifying force, reminding us of our shared humanity. Ultimately, gratitude is a way of being. It's not about denying life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to see the good even amidst the struggle. It's about acknowledging that every day holds moments worth celebrating, no matter how small. By cultivating gratitude, we not only transform our own lives, but also contribute to a world where kindness, connection and joy can thrive. Gratitude reshapes the way we see the world, but its power doesn't exist in isolation. One of the most profound gifts of gratitude is how it deepens our connections with others. Relationships are the bridges that carry us through life's joys and struggles, yet they are often overlooked or taken for granted. While the practice of gratitude teaches us to notice and cherish these connections, the strength of these bonds ultimately shapes the quality of our lives. Without meaningful connections, even the richest gratitude can feel incomplete. The relationships we cultivate with family, friends, and our broader community hold the potential to create a wellspring of happiness, support, and fulfillment. The human heart thrives on connection. At its essence, a meaningful bond with another person goes beyond surface interactions. It's about being seen, understood, and valued for who you truly are. When someone acknowledges your worth and shows genuine care, it creates a sense of belonging that no material possession can replace. In the same way, when you offer this to others, you become a source of comfort and joy in their lives. Meaningful connections begin with this mutual recognition of value and a commitment to nurture it over time. Trust is the cornerstone of any strong relationship. It doesn't happen instantly, but is built slowly through consistent actions, honesty, and respect. Trust allows people to feel safe enough to share their vulnerabilities without fear of judgment or rejection. When trust is broken, it can create walls that are difficult to dismantle. Rebuilding trust requires patience, transparency, and genuine effort. A foundation of trust not only strengthens bonds, but also encourages open communication, which is vital for resolving conflicts and deepening understanding. One of the greatest barriers to meaningful connections is the modern tendency to multitask through relationships. With so many demands on our time, it's easy to treat interactions as items on a checklist rather than opportunities to connect deeply. True connection requires presence, setting aside distractions and giving someone your full attention. A meaningful conversation, a shared moment of laughter, or even silent companionship can have a profound impact when your focus is fully on the other person. Empathy is another key to nurturing meaningful bonds. By stepping into someone else's perspective, you cultivate a deeper understanding of their emotions and experiences. Empathy doesn't mean solving their problems, but simply being present with them in their struggles and joys. When you genuinely listen without the need to respond immediately or offer advice, you create a safe space for others to express themselves. This act of empathy strengthens the bond between you and helps you both grow in compassion. Kindness plays a crucial role in building strong connections. Small, thoughtful gestures, like checking in on a friend, helping a neighbor, or simply offering a kind word, can create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond the moment. Kindness is the glue that holds relationships together, especially during difficult times. It reminds people that they are cared for, valued, and not alone. Acts of kindness don't have to be grand. Their power lies in their sincerity and consistency. Boundaries are often overlooked in discussions about relationships, yet they are essential for meaningful connections. Healthy boundaries protect your emotional well-being while allowing you to engage with others authentically. Without boundaries, relationships can become one-sided or strained, leading to resentment or burnout. Setting clear boundaries involves communicating your needs and limits with honesty and respect. It also means honoring the boundaries of others, recognizing that their needs may differ from yours. Relationships thrive on shared experiences, whether it's a family gathering, a quiet evening with a friend, or a community event. Creating moments of togetherness strengthens bonds. These shared experiences provide opportunities to laugh, learn, and grow together. They create memories that become the fabric of your connection, reminding you of the joy and support that others bring to your life. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship, but how it's handled determines whether it strengthens or weakens the bond. Approaching disagreements with a willingness to understand the other person's perspective can turn conflicts into opportunities for growth. It's not about winning an argument, but about finding common ground and fostering mutual respect. When handled with care, conflicts can lead to deeper trust and understanding. Vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, but in relationships, it is a source of strength. Sharing your fears, dreams, and imperfections allows others to connect with the real you. Vulnerability creates authenticity, breaking down the barriers of pretense and enabling genuine connection. However, it's important to be selective about whom you open up to, ensuring that your vulnerability is met with kindness and respect. Diversity within relationships is another factor that enriches your connections. Engaging with people from different backgrounds, cultures, and perspectives broadens your understanding of the world and deepens your empathy. It challenges you to step outside your comfort zone and see life through new eyes. These diverse relationships not only enhance your personal growth, but also contribute to a more compassionate and inclusive community. Community plays a significant role in creating a sense of belonging. Being part of a group with shared values, interests, or goals provides support and connection on a larger scale. Whether it's a local club, a religious group, or a team working toward a common cause, the bonds formed within a community offer a sense of purpose and collective strength. Giving back to your community through acts of service further deepens these connections and fosters a spirit of generosity. Family relationships often form the foundation of our connections, but they can also be some of the most challenging to navigate. The bonds between family members are deeply rooted, making them both resilient and complex. Strengthening these ties requires patience, forgiveness, and a willingness to understand each other's unique experiences and perspectives. It's not about achieving perfection, but about striving for harmony and mutual respect. Friendships are equally vital in fostering happiness. Friends provide companionship, support, and a sense of belonging outside of familial bonds. Maintaining strong friendships involves effort, from checking in regularly to being there during life's highs and lows. Quality matters more than quantity. Even a few close friendships can have a profound impact on your well-being. Relationships also benefit from a sense of playfulness. Shared laughter and light-hearted moments inject joy into your connections, reminding you not to take life too seriously. Playfulness can be as simple as sharing an inside joke, reminiscing about funny memories, or engaging in activities that bring out your inner child. These moments of levity strengthen bonds and create lasting positive memories. Celebrating milestones and achievements together is another way to deepen relationships. Acknowledging the successes of others shows that you value their journey and share in their joy. It strengthens the bond by reinforcing the idea that you are there not only in difficult times, but also in moments of triumph. Forgiveness is an essential part of maintaining meaningful connections. No relationship is immune to mistakes or misunderstandings, but holding on to grudges creates barriers to connection. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful behavior. It means letting go of resentment to make space for healing and growth. By practicing forgiveness, you free yourself and others to move forward without the weight of past hurts. Gratitude intertwines with relationships, amplifying their positive impact. Expressing appreciation for the people in your life fosters warmth and strengthens bonds. Whether it's a simple thank you or a heartfelt acknowledgement of someone's support, gratitude reminds others that they are valued and reinforces your connection. A meaningful connection also requires balance, ensuring that both parties feel heard, supported, and valued. This balance involves not only giving, but also receiving, recognizing that relationships are a two-way street. By cultivating balance, you create a sense of equality and mutual respect that sustains the bond over time. As relationships flourish, they create a ripple effect that extends beyond the individuals involved. A strong, supportive connection inspires others to build their own meaningful relationships, creating a network of kindness and understanding. This interconnected web of relationships contributes to a more compassionate and joyful world, where individuals and communities thrive together. The beauty of meaningful connections lies in their ability to grow and evolve. They are not static, but dynamic, shaped by the experiences, challenges, and joys shared over time. By nurturing these connections with intention and care, you build a foundation of happiness that enriches every aspect of life. True fulfillment comes not from what we have, but from the bonds we share, the love we give, and the connections we create. Through these relationships, we find the heart of what it means to be truly happy. The connections we build with others form the backbone of a fulfilling life, but the quality of those relationships often depends on something deeper, the connection we have with ourselves. To truly engage with others, we must first learn to be present in our own lives. Yet, how often do we find ourselves stuck in the grip of the past or anxiously projecting into the future? In these moments, the present, rich with possibility, slips through our fingers. Mindfulness offers us a way to reclaim this lost treasure. It is the practice of living fully in the now, the only time and space where life truly unfolds. Mindfulness begins with awareness. So often, we move through life on autopilot, caught in routines and habits that blur the beauty of each moment. Awareness is the antidote to this numbing pattern. It invites us to pay attention, not just to what we see or hear, but to how we feel, think, and react. This simple act of noticing disrupts the cycle of distraction, drawing us back to the immediacy of our experience. It's about being fully awake to the life happening around and within us. Breath is a powerful anchor for mindfulness. While the mind often drifts between the past and future, the breath is always rooted in the present. Focusing on the rhythm of inhalation and exhalation creates a grounding effect, pulling our awareness back to the here and now. It's not about controlling the breath, but observing it, its natural rise and fall, the way it nourishes the body. This practice cultivates a sense of calm and clarity, even in the midst of chaos. Letting go of the past is one of the greatest challenges to living mindfully. The mind has a way of replaying old regrets, mistakes, or hurts, clinging to them as though they define who we are. But mindfulness teaches us that the past is not a place we can live. It is a memory, a story we carry. By acknowledging the past without letting it dominate our present, we create space for healing and growth. This doesn't mean ignoring what has happened, but learning to see it with acceptance, free from judgment. Similarly, mindfulness helps us release our grasp on the future. Anxiety often stems from the mind's tendency to dwell on what might go wrong or what needs to be done. While planning and foresight are valuable, they can become overwhelming when they pull us out of the present. Mindfulness invites us to focus on the step we're taking now, rather than the entire journey ahead. It's about trusting that being fully engaged in the moment will lead us to the right place in time. Engaging with our senses is another path to mindfulness. The world around us is full of vibrant textures, colors, sounds, and scents that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. By pausing to truly see a sunset, hear the rustling of leaves, or feel the warmth of a loved one's hand, we reconnect with the richness of existence. These sensory experiences are not distractions, but gateways to presence, reminders that life is not something to race through but to savor. Mindfulness also transforms the way we relate to our thoughts. Instead of getting swept away by every idea or worry, we learn to observe them with detachment. Thoughts are like clouds passing through the sky of the mind. They come and go, but they do not define us. This perspective frees us from the grip of overthinking, creating a sense of mental spaciousness where peace can flourish. The practice of mindful eating illustrates the power of slowing down. Eating is something we often do hurriedly, barely noticing the flavors or textures of our food. Mindful eating involves savoring each bite, paying attention to the sensations and gratitude for the nourishment. This simple shift transforms a mundane activity into a moment of connection with the body and the present. Embracing mindfulness in movement offers yet another avenue for presence. Whether through yoga, walking, or even simple stretches, bringing awareness to the body as it moves cultivates a deep sense of grounding. It reminds us of the intricate dance between our physical selves and the environment, fostering an appreciation for the vitality that sustains us. Mindfulness also teaches us to respond rather than react. In the heat of emotion, it's easy to lash out or make decisions we later regret. By pausing and observing our feelings without immediately acting on them, we create a buffer of awareness. This space allows us to choose our responses with intention, guided by wisdom rather than impulse. Gratitude and mindfulness are deeply intertwined. When we are fully present, we become more attuned to the beauty and blessings in our lives. A mindful moment is one where gratitude naturally arises, not for extraordinary events, but for the quiet gifts that surround us every day. This reciprocal relationship between mindfulness and gratitude deepens our sense of contentment and joy. One of the most transformative aspects of mindfulness is its capacity to build resilience. Life is filled with uncertainties and challenges, but mindfulness helps us navigate them with equanimity. By grounding ourselves in the present, we are less likely to be overwhelmed by the weight of what has been or what might be. Instead, we can face each moment as it comes, drawing strength from our inner stability. Compassion blooms through mindfulness. When we are present with ourselves, we become more aware of our struggles and needs, fostering self-compassion. This understanding extends outward, enabling us to approach others with empathy and kindness. Mindfulness dissolves the barriers between self and other, revealing the shared humanity that connects us all. Mindfulness in communication enriches our relationships. When we listen mindfully, we truly hear what others are saying, not just their words, but their emotions and intentions. This deep listening creates a sense of validation and understanding that strengthens bonds. Speaking mindfully with clarity and purpose fosters honesty and connection. Time feels abundant when we live mindfully. Rushing through tasks and experiences often leaves us feeling like life is slipping away. Mindfulness slows us down, allowing us to fully inhabit each moment. Paradoxically, this slowing down makes time feel richer. as though we are stretching its fabric to include more depth and meaning. Mindfulness also invites us to embrace impermanence. Everything in life is transient. Moments, emotions, relationships, even our own existence. While this truth can be unsettling, it also holds profound freedom. By accepting impermanence, we learn to let go of clinging and savor each experience for what it is, knowing that its beauty lies in its fleeting nature. Creativity flourishes in the present. When the mind is not preoccupied with the past or future, it becomes a fertile ground for new ideas and inspiration. Mindfulness nurtures this creative flow, allowing us to approach challenges and opportunities with fresh perspectives and open hearts. The practice of mindfulness is not confined to meditation or specific exercises. It is a way of living. It permeates every aspect of our existence, from the way we wake up in the morning to how we drift off to sleep at night. It transforms ordinary moments into sacred experiences, revealing the depth and wonder hidden in plain sight. As we cultivate mindfulness, we begin to notice a subtle yet profound shift. The noise of the mind quiets, the weight of worry lightens, and a sense of clarity emerges. Life doesn't necessarily become easier, but it becomes more vibrant, more real. We learn to meet each moment with openness and grace, finding fulfillment not in what we achieve, but in how we experience the journey. Mindfulness is both a practice and a gift, a way of reclaiming the present, and in doing so, reclaiming ourselves. It offers a path to peace, joy, and connection, not by changing the world around us, but by changing how we relate to it. In this quiet revolution of awareness, we discover that the life we long for has been waiting for us all along, right here in the now. When life is lived fully in the present, it becomes clear that joy doesn't come from perfection. The need to constantly chase an ideal, a flawless version of ourselves, our work, or our relationships, leaves us exhausted and unfulfilled. Mindfulness teaches us to value each moment as it is, imperfections included. But if perfection isn't the goal, then what is? The answer lies in purpose. It is purpose that fills life with meaning, turning even the simplest actions into sources of joy and satisfaction. Aligning our lives with what truly matters to us is how we break free from the endless cycle of striving for unattainable ideals. Purpose gives direction to our actions, a compass that guides us through the complexity of life. Without it, we often find ourselves chasing goals that society imposes, success defined by wealth, beauty, or fame. While these things may bring fleeting pleasure, they lack the depth to sustain long-term fulfillment. Purpose, however, anchors us. It connects us to something greater than ourselves, offering a sense of contribution and meaning that no external achievement can replicate. Purpose is deeply personal, rooted in the values we hold closest to our hearts. Identifying those values requires reflection and honesty. What matters most to you? Is it family, creativity, kindness, or community? Purpose is not a universal formula. It is unique to each individual. By exploring these values, you begin to uncover the threads that weave through your life, pointing you toward a path that feels authentic and fulfilling. Once purpose is identified, it transforms the way we approach our goals. Instead of chasing perfection, we focus on meaningful actions that align with our values. This shift creates a sense of fulfillment even before the goal is achieved. For example, someone whose purpose is rooted in helping others might find joy in volunteering or mentoring, regardless of recognition or results. Purpose makes the process as rewarding as the outcome. Letting go of perfection also means embracing vulnerability. Perfectionism is often a shield, a way of protecting ourselves from criticism or failure, but this shield also keeps us from taking risks, growing, and connecting deeply with others. Purpose encourages us to step outside our comfort zones, to try and fail and learn without fear. Vulnerability becomes a strength, a sign that we are living fully and authentically. Purpose transforms the way we view success. In a perfectionist mindset, success is often defined narrowly, meeting specific standards or achieving specific results. Purpose broadens that definition. Success becomes about alignment. Are your actions true to your values? Are you contributing to something meaningful? This perspective allows you to celebrate small victories and progress, fostering a sense of accomplishment that isn't tied to external validation. Balancing purpose with the realities of daily life is a challenge, but it is also an opportunity. Purpose doesn't demand grand gestures or constant focus. It thrives in the small, consistent choices we make every day. Even ordinary tasks can be infused with meaning when approached with intention. A parent cooking dinner for their children, an artist sketching between work shifts, or a teacher inspiring one student at a time. These actions may seem mundane, but are profoundly purposeful when rooted in values. Purpose also brings resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with obstacles and detours. When we are driven by perfection, setbacks can feel catastrophic, derailing our sense of worth and direction. Purpose, however, offers stability. It reminds us why we began in the first place and helps us adapt and persevere. Challenges become part of the journey rather than roadblocks to fulfillment. Community plays a significant role in living a purposeful life. Purpose is often amplified when shared with others who support and inspire us. Collaborating with like-minded individuals, contributing to collective goals, or simply sharing our purpose with those we care about enriches its impact. Purpose doesn't isolate us. It connects us, creating a sense of belonging and shared meaning. Purpose also invites gratitude. When we align our actions with what truly matters, we become more aware of the opportunities and resources that support us. This awareness fosters appreciation for the people, experiences, and moments that contribute to our journey. Gratitude deepens our connection to our purpose, reinforcing its presence in our lives. One of the most liberating aspects of purpose is its flexibility. Unlike perfection, which demands rigid adherence to an ideal, purpose evolves as we grow. Our values may shift over time, and so too might our sense of purpose. This adaptability ensures that purpose remains relevant and alive, a reflection of who we are in each stage of life. Purpose also helps us navigate the pressures of comparison. In a world where social media often magnifies others' successes, it's easy to feel inadequate or off track. Purpose grounds us, reminding us that our path is uniquely ours. It allows us to appreciate others' achievements without diminishing our own journey. Comparison loses its power when we are focused on what truly matters to us. Living purposefully requires intentionality. It's not about filling every moment with productivity, but about ensuring that our actions align with our values. This might mean saying no to distractions or obligations that don't serve our purpose. It might mean prioritizing quality over quantity in our commitments. Purpose is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Purpose is also deeply intertwined with joy. While perfection often creates a sense of pressure or inadequacy, purpose fosters a sense of ease and satisfaction. It turns effort into enjoyment, struggle into growth, and achievements into celebrations. Purpose doesn't eliminate challenges, but it gives them meaning, transforming even difficult moments into opportunities for connection and contribution. In pursuing purpose, we also learn to accept imperfection in ourselves and others. This acceptance creates space for growth and forgiveness, both of which are essential for meaningful relationships and personal fulfillment. Purpose teaches us that we are not defined by our flaws or failures, but by the intentions and actions we bring to the world. Purpose also fosters a sense of legacy. When we live in alignment with our values, we create ripple effects that extend beyond our own lives. Whether it's through the kindness we show, the work we do, or the relationships we nurture, purpose leaves a mark on the world. This sense of contribution adds depth and richness to our lives, reminding us that our actions matter. Aligning with purpose requires courage. It often means letting go of societal expectations or stepping away from the familiar to pursue what feels right. This can be daunting, but it is also deeply empowering. Living purposefully is not about following a prescribed path, but about carving your own, guided by the inner compass of your values. Purpose also brings clarity. In a world filled with choices and distractions, it helps us focus on what truly matters. This clarity simplifies decision-making, allowing us to prioritize with confidence. It reduces the noise of competing demands and directs our energy toward what aligns with our deepest intentions. At its heart, purpose is an act of love. Love for ourselves, for others, and for the world we inhabit. It is the recognition that our lives are not just about getting by, but about contributing to something meaningful. Purpose infuses our days with hope and possibility, reminding us that even in the face of imperfection, we have the power to create a life of value and joy. As we pursue purpose over perfection, we free ourselves from the weight of unrealistic expectations and step into the lightness of authentic living. Each choice, no matter how small, becomes a reflection of who we are and what we stand for. Purpose is not a destination, but a way of being, a commitment to living fully, meaningfully, and with an open heart. In this alignment, we discover that the joy we seek has always been within our reach, waiting for us to embrace it. Aligning life with purpose over perfection gives us a sense of direction and grounding, but the path is rarely straight or smooth. Life's transitions, those moments of uncertainty and upheaval, often feel like disruptions to our carefully crafted plans. Yet within these periods of change lies the potential for profound growth and renewal. It is in the shifting sands of life that we discover who we truly are and what we are capable of becoming. Change, though often feared, holds the seeds of transformation, if only we are willing to embrace it. Change is one of the few constants in life. It touches every corner of our existence, from the relationships we cherish to the roles we inhabit and the dreams we pursue. Resisting change is a natural response. It's an attempt to hold on to what feels safe and familiar. However, resistance creates tension, while acceptance opens the door to possibility. Embracing change means shifting our perspective, seeing it not as an enemy, but as an ally in our journey of self-discovery. The first step in embracing change is acknowledging its inevitability. Clinging to the idea that life will remain static only deepens the pain of transition. By recognizing that change is a natural part of growth, we begin to soften our resistance. This doesn't mean we won't feel grief, fear, or discomfort during change. It means allowing those feelings to exist without letting them dictate our response. Acceptance becomes the foundation upon which we build resilience. Self-awareness is a crucial tool for navigating change. During periods of transition, it's easy to lose sight of who we are or what we value. Self-awareness helps us stay grounded, enabling us to differentiate between what is truly important and what is merely circumstantial. This clarity allows us to make decisions that align with our core values, even as the world around us shifts. Change also challenges our sense of identity. We often define ourselves by our roles, achievements, or relationships, and when these aspects of our lives shift, it can leave us feeling unmoored. Yet, these moments of identity crisis are opportunities to reevaluate and redefine ourselves. They invite us to look beyond external labels and reconnect with the essence of who we are. Through this process, we often uncover strengths, passions, and aspects of ourselves that were previously hidden. One of the greatest lessons of change is its ability to cultivate adaptability. Life rarely unfolds according to plan, and the ability to pivot and adjust is a skill that serves us in every aspect of our journey. Adaptability is not about abandoning our goals or values, but about finding new ways to honor them in changing circumstances. It's about remaining open to new possibilities, even when they differ from our original vision. Change also teaches us the value of letting go, whether it's releasing a relationship, a dream, or a version of ourselves. Letting go is often the most challenging yet liberating aspect of transition. Holding on too tightly to the past creates a barrier to growth, while letting go creates space for new opportunities and experiences. This process requires trust. Trust in ourselves, in the journey, and in the belief that what lies ahead holds the potential for renewal. During periods of change, reflection becomes a powerful tool for growth. Taking time to process and understand what is happening allows us to learn from the experience rather than simply endure it. Reflection helps us identify patterns, uncover lessons, and gain insights that inform our future choices. It transforms change from a passive experience into an active process of self-discovery. Support from others is another vital element in navigating change. Sharing our experiences with trusted friends, family, or mentors can provide comfort and perspective. These connections remind us that we're not alone and that others have walked similar paths. They offer encouragement, advice, or simply a listening ear, all of which help us feel supported and understood. Change also strengthens our resilience. Every transition we navigate successfully adds to our inner reservoir of strength and confidence. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about developing the capacity to recover and grow from it. This strength becomes a cornerstone of our character, enabling us to face future challenges with greater courage and grace. Gratitude can also play a surprising role in embracing change. While it may seem counterintuitive to feel grateful during difficult transitions, gratitude helps us focus on what remains rather than what is lost. It shifts our perspective, highlighting the silver linings and opportunities hidden within the upheaval. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain of change, but it softens its edges, allowing us to move forward with a sense of hope. Change often brings with it the opportunity for renewal. It clears away the old, making room for growth and transformation. This renewal is not always immediate. It may take time to see the new possibilities that arise from the ashes of the past. But when we approach change with an open heart and mind, we create the conditions for this renewal to take root. The uncertainty of change can be daunting, but it also holds the potential for creativity. When old structures and routines fall away, we are free to reimagine our lives. This freedom allows us to explore new paths, develop new skills, and pursue dreams that may have felt out of reach before. Creativity flourishes in the space created by change, turning challenges into opportunities for innovation and growth. Change also deepens our empathy. Experiencing transitions ourselves helps us understand and support others who are navigating their own changes. This shared understanding fosters connection and compassion, reminding us of our shared humanity. By extending kindness to others during their times of change, we also reinforce our own capacity for growth and resilience. Mindfulness enhances our ability to embrace change. By staying present with what is happening, we reduce the anxiety that comes from dwelling on the past or fearing the future. Mindfulness helps us navigate each moment with clarity and calm, allowing us to respond to change rather than react to it. This practice fosters a sense of balance, even in the midst of uncertainty. Change also reveals the impermanence of life. While this truth can be unsettling, it also carries a profound freedom. Knowing that nothing is permanent allows us to appreciate the present moment more fully and to release our attachment to outcomes. It reminds us that life is a constant flow, and our role is to navigate it with grace and intention. In embracing change, we also learn to trust ourselves. Each transition is an opportunity to build confidence in our ability to adapt, grow, and thrive. This self-trust becomes a source of empowerment, enabling us to face future changes with a sense of possibility rather than fear. Trusting ourselves doesn't mean we have all the answers. It means believing in our capacity to find them. Ultimately, embracing change is about seeing it as an integral part of the human experience. It is through change that we grow, evolve, and discover new dimensions of ourselves. By approaching change with curiosity and openness, we transform it from a source of fear into a catalyst for renewal. Each transition becomes an opportunity to align more closely with our values, to deepen our understanding of ourselves, and to step into the fullness of who we are meant to be. In the dance of life, change is the rhythm that moves us forward. It is not a detour or an obstacle, but a vital part of the journey. By embracing this rhythm, we find the courage to let go, the wisdom to adapt, and the strength to grow. Through change, we discover the beauty of renewal and the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Embracing change teaches us to adapt and find growth in the unexpected. But there is another element that can either hinder or liberate us during transitions: attachment. The things we cling to, whether people, possessions, or expectations, can feel like anchors, providing a false sense of stability. But in truth, these attachments often become the very chains that limit our freedom and contentment. Letting go isn't about losing what we care about. It's about releasing the weight of control and creating space for joy, peace, and new possibilities. Attachment begins as a desire to hold on to what feels comforting or familiar, but it often grows into dependence. We tether our happiness to outcomes, relationships, or material possessions, believing that they define our worth or secure our place in the world. This clinging can lead to fear of loss, change, or imperfection. When we attach ourselves too tightly to anything, we give it power over our emotions and our ability to live freely. Letting go starts with understanding that everything in life is impermanent. Relationships, achievements, even the moments we treasure most, all exist within the flow of time. By accepting this truth, we begin to see that holding on too tightly doesn't prevent loss. It only creates suffering. This isn't about detaching ourselves emotionally, but about finding balance, a way to care deeply without being consumed by the need to control. Expectations are one of the most common forms of attachment. We create stories in our minds about how life should unfold, how people should behave, or what success should look like. When reality doesn't align with these expectations, we feel frustration or disappointment. Releasing attachment to expectations doesn't mean giving up on hopes or goals. It means approaching them with flexibility and openness. It's about appreciating what is, rather than fixating on what could or should be. Attachment to people often stems from a fear of being alone or unvalued. While relationships are vital to a fulfilling life, clinging to others can strain those connections. True love and friendship flourish when rooted in freedom, when we allow others to be themselves without imposing our needs or fears onto them. Letting go in relationships means fostering mutual respect, trust, and understanding, rather than trying to control or possess the other person. Possessions also become a source of attachment as we equate them with security, status, or identity. However, the satisfaction they bring is often fleeting, and the more we acquire, the more we risk becoming consumed by the need for more. Releasing attachment to possessions doesn't mean renouncing them entirely. It means shifting our focus from accumulation to appreciation. It's about valuing what we have without allowing it to define us. The mind plays a significant role in attachment. It creates narratives about the past and fears about the future, often pulling us away from the present. By becoming aware of these thought patterns, we can begin to release their hold on us. Meditation and mindfulness practices help quiet the mind, allowing us to observe our attachments without judgment and gradually loosen their grip. Letting go also involves forgiveness of ourselves and others. Holding on to anger, guilt, or resentment ties us to past events, preventing us from moving forward. Forgiveness doesn't condone harm, but frees us from the burden of carrying it. It is an act of release, a way of reclaiming our peace and choosing to live unburdened by the weight of the past. The fear of uncertainty often fuels attachment. We cling to what we know because stepping into the unknown feels risky. Yet, uncertainty is where growth and discovery happen. By embracing it, we learn to trust ourselves and the journey, even when the destination is unclear. This trust becomes the foundation for living with ease and resilience. Letting go is not about indifference or detachment from life's experiences. It's about engaging fully with the present moment while accepting that we cannot control its outcomes. This approach fosters contentment, a state of being at peace with what is, rather than constantly striving for what isn't. Contentment arises not from having everything we desire, but from desiring less and appreciating more. Releasing attachment also involves redefining our relationship with success. When we tie our sense of worth to achievements, failures can feel devastating. But when we see success as a process rather than a destination, we free ourselves from this cycle. It's about finding fulfillment in effort and growth rather than in external validation. Even time becomes a source of attachment. We often dwell on the past or rush toward the future, forgetting that the present is all we truly have. Letting go of time-related attachments means living fully in the now, savoring each moment without being tethered to regrets or anxieties. Self-compassion plays a vital role in this process. As we work to release attachments, we must also release the judgment we place on ourselves for struggling with it. Letting go is a journey, not a switch we can flip. Treating ourselves with kindness and patience allows us to navigate this path with greater ease and clarity. The benefits of letting go ripple through every aspect of life. It lightens the emotional load we carry, creating space for joy, creativity, and connection. It strengthens our relationships as we learn to love and accept others without conditions. It fosters resilience, enabling us to face life's challenges with grace and adaptability. And, most importantly, it brings us closer to the freedom and contentment that come from living in alignment with our true selves. Releasing attachment doesn't mean giving up on the things that matter. It means holding them lightly, appreciating them without clinging to them. It's about finding the courage to let life flow, trusting that what is meant for us will remain, and what leaves will make room for something new. This practice is not an act of loss, but an act of liberation, freeing ourselves to live with greater peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Letting go of attachments brings a profound sense of freedom, but to truly sustain that freedom, we must turn our attention inward, to the care of both mind and body. Happiness and well-being are not born from one aspect of life alone. They emerge when mental clarity and physical vitality work in harmony. Yet, in the rush of daily demands, this balance is often the first thing to slip away. Self-care is not indulgence. It is the foundation upon which lasting happiness is built. Without nurturing both the mind and body, we cannot fully embrace the richness of life or the freedom we seek. The mind and body are deeply interconnected, each influencing the other in ways that often go unnoticed. When the body is neglected, the mind struggles to find clarity and peace. Fatigue, poor nutrition, and stress weigh heavily on mental health, making it harder to focus, cope, or find joy. Conversely, when the mind is burdened by anxiety, overthinking, or unresolved emotions, the body responds with tension, exhaustion, and even illness. Balance begins with the recognition that caring for one automatically nurtures the other. Physical health is the starting point for this harmony. Movement, for example, is a cornerstone of well-being. Exercise not only strengthens the body, but also releases endorphins, the natural chemicals that elevate mood and reduce stress. It doesn't require intense workouts or gym memberships. Even simple activities like walking, stretching, or dancing can have a profound impact. The key is consistency, making movement a regular part of life, not as a chore, but as a gift to yourself. Nutrition is equally vital. What we consume fuels not just the body, but the brain, influencing energy levels, focus, and emotional stability. A balanced diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, grains, and proteins provides the nutrients needed to thrive. It's not about restriction or perfection, but about mindfulness, paying attention to what your body needs and responding with care. Even small changes like drinking more water or reducing processed foods can significantly improve how you feel. Sleep is another pillar of physical and mental health. The modern world often glorifies busyness, treating rest as a luxury rather than a necessity. Yet, sleep is when the body repairs itself and the mind processes emotions and experiences. Prioritizing quality sleep by creating a consistent routine, limiting screen time before bed, or cultivating a calming nighttime environment sets the stage for resilience and clarity. Stress management is essential for maintaining balance. Life's pressures are unavoidable, but how we respond to them shapes their impact on us. Mindful practices like deep breathing, meditation, or simply taking time to pause and reset can help calm the nervous system. These moments of stillness are not just breaks from stress. They are opportunities to reconnect with yourself and restore equilibrium. Caring for mental health requires more than stress management. It involves creating a supportive inner dialogue, one that encourages rather than criticizes. The way we speak to ourselves matters. Kind, compassionate thoughts foster self-esteem and resilience, while harsh, critical ones undermine confidence and peace. Practicing self-compassion, treating yourself as you would a dear friend, builds a foundation of mental strength. Journaling is a powerful tool for mental clarity. Writing down thoughts and emotions provides a safe space to explore and process them, reducing mental clutter and promoting self-awareness. It's not about perfect prose, but about honesty, letting your thoughts flow freely onto the page without judgment. This practice creates a sense of release, allowing you to let go of what no longer serves you. Social connection plays a crucial role in balancing mind and body. Meaningful relationships provide emotional support, reduce feelings of isolation, and even improve physical health. Sharing laughter, engaging in deep conversations, or simply spending time with loved ones fosters a sense of belonging and joy. These connections remind us that we are part of a larger web of life, reinforcing our sense of purpose and community. Boundaries are equally important in nurturing well-being. Saying yes to everything often leads to burnout, while learning to say no protects your energy and priorities. Boundaries are acts of self-respect. They ensure that you have the time and space to care for yourself without guilt or resentment. They also teach others how to treat you, fostering relationships rooted in mutual respect. The environment you create around yourself also impacts your well-being. A cluttered, chaotic space often mirrors and amplifies a cluttered mind. Creating a clean, organized, and calming environment supports relaxation and focus. Whether it's rearranging a room, introducing plants, or minimizing distractions, these small adjustments make a big difference in how you feel. Gratitude ties into this balance as well. Focusing on what you have rather than what you lack shifts your perspective, reducing stress and enhancing contentment. A daily gratitude practice, such as listing 3 things you're thankful for, fosters a positive mindset and reinforces the connection between mind and body. Nature offers a profound sense of healing and balance. Time spent outdoors, whether in a park, by the water, or under the open sky, restores both physical and mental energy. The natural world invites us to slow down, breathe deeply, and feel connected to something greater than ourselves. These moments in nature are not just refreshing, but essential for grounding and renewal. Creativity also nurtures well-being. Expressing yourself through art, music, cooking, or any creative outlet engages the mind and body in a flow state, reducing stress and enhancing joy. Creativity is not about skill or output, but about the process of creating, allowing yourself to explore, experiment, and enjoy without judgment. Spirituality, whether through faith, meditation, or personal reflection, provides another dimension of balance. It connects us to a sense of purpose and wonder, reminding us of the bigger picture. Spiritual practices foster peace, gratitude, and resilience, grounding us in the present while inspiring hope for the future. Mindfulness weaves through all aspects of self-care, reminding us to be present in each moment. Whether eating, exercising, or simply resting, mindfulness deepens the experience, transforming ordinary activities into acts of self-love. It cultivates awareness of our needs and helps us respond to them with intention rather than habit. In balancing mind and body, it's essential to embrace imperfection. There will be days when self-care feels like a struggle, and that's okay. Balance is not a fixed state, but a dynamic process, one that requires flexibility and self-compassion. Each small step you take toward caring for yourself contributes to your overall well-being. This balance is not about achieving a perfect life. It's about creating a fulfilling one. It's about recognizing that your well-being is worth prioritizing, and that by nurturing yourself, you enhance your capacity to engage with the world. Balance is the foundation upon which lasting happiness is built, a harmony of mind and body that allows you to live with purpose, presence, and joy. When we nurture the balance of mind and body, we create a foundation for well-being that allows us to engage with the world in meaningful ways. But true fulfillment often extends beyond self-care. It flourishes when we open our hearts to others. There is a unique kind of joy that comes not from what we gain, but from what we give. Generosity, when offered without expectation, is a source of boundless happiness. It enriches not only those who receive, but also those who give, creating a ripple effect that touches lives far beyond the initial act. Generosity begins with a simple truth. We are all interconnected. Acts of kindness remind us that no one exists in isolation, and the small gestures we extend to others can have a profound impact. Generosity is not about grand displays or material wealth. It's about intention. A kind word, a listening ear, or a helping hand can transform someone's day. These moments of giving, however small, create connections that nourish both the giver and the receiver. True generosity requires letting go of expectations. When we give with the hope of receiving something in return, whether gratitude, recognition, or favor, it becomes a transaction rather than a gift. Giving without strings attached allows the act to retain its purity, creating genuine joy and freedom. This freedom benefits both parties, as it removes the pressure of obligation and fosters an atmosphere of trust and authenticity. One of the most beautiful aspects of generosity is its cyclical nature. When we give selflessly, it often inspires others to do the same. A single act of kindness can multiply, creating a chain reaction that spreads far beyond what we can see. This cycle not only uplifts individuals, but also strengthens communities, fostering a culture of support and compassion. Generosity also deepens our sense of purpose. It shifts our focus from self-centered concerns to the well-being of others, reminding us that we are part of something greater. This outward perspective reduces feelings of isolation and fosters a sense of belonging. Giving becomes not just an act, but a way of living that aligns with our highest values. The act of giving is also a profound teacher. It encourages empathy by prompting us to consider the needs and perspectives of others. Empathy, in turn, strengthens our relationships as it helps us connect on a deeper level. Generosity teaches us to see the humanity in everyone we meet, breaking down barriers and building bridges of understanding. Generosity doesn't require perfection or abundance. It flourishes in simplicity. Sharing a meal, offering encouragement, or dedicating time to a cause are all forms of giving that carry immense value. These actions remind us that we don't need to have everything figured out to make a difference. In fact, the willingness to give from a place of imperfection often creates the most genuine and heartfelt connections. In moments of hardship, generosity becomes even more powerful. When life feels overwhelming, the instinct may be to turn inward, focusing solely on our struggles. Yet, extending kindness to others during these times often brings unexpected healing and strength. It shifts our perspective, helping us see that we are not alone in our challenges and that we still have the capacity to create positive change. Generosity also enhances gratitude. When we give to others, we often become more aware of our own blessings. This awareness fosters a sense of contentment and appreciation, deepening our overall happiness. Generosity and gratitude are interconnected, each reinforcing the other in a cycle of positivity and fulfillment. Acts of giving also cultivate resilience. They remind us of our ability to contribute, even in difficult circumstances, which strengthens our sense of agency and purpose. Generosity empowers us, proving that no matter what challenges we face, we still have something valuable to offer. The joy of giving is magnified when we see its impact. A smile, a heartfelt thank you, or the knowledge that we've eased someone's burden are powerful affirmations of our shared humanity. However, the greatest satisfaction often comes from knowing that our kindness has created a ripple effect, benefiting not only the person we helped, but also those they, in turn, will help. Generosity requires courage. It asks us to step outside our comfort zones, to trust in the goodness of others, and to give without the guarantee of return. This courage fosters personal growth, as it challenges us to confront fears of scarcity, vulnerability, or rejection. Through these acts, we discover the strength and abundance within ourselves. Generosity also enriches our sense of community. It reminds us that we are stronger together than we are alone. By supporting one another, we create networks of care and collaboration that benefit everyone involved. These connections foster a sense of security and belonging, reinforcing the idea that we are all part of a greater whole. The power of generosity extends beyond individuals and communities. It impacts the world at large. When we give selflessly, we contribute to a culture of kindness and compassion that transcends boundaries. This culture inspires others to act with generosity, creating a ripple effect that reaches across societies and generations. Generosity also invites us to reflect on our values. It prompts us to consider what truly matters: relationships, connection, and shared humanity, rather than material possessions or personal gain. This reflection deepens our understanding of ourselves and our place in the world, fostering a sense of fulfillment that cannot be measured in wealth or status. One of the most transformative aspects of generosity is its ability to dissolve barriers. Acts of giving remind us that beneath our differences, we share the same fundamental needs for love, acceptance, and support. Generosity bridges divides, creating spaces where empathy and understanding can flourish. Generosity often leads to unexpected rewards. While the intention is not to receive, the act of giving often brings unexpected blessings, new friendships, opportunities, or moments of joy. These rewards are not material, but emotional and spiritual, enriching our lives in ways we could not have anticipated. Generosity toward ourselves is just as important as generosity toward others. Self-compassion allows us to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. When we nurture our own well-being, we enhance our capacity to support others without losing ourselves in the process. Generosity also teaches patience. Not all acts of kindness yield immediate results, and some may go unnoticed altogether. However, the value of giving lies not in recognition, but in the act itself. Trusting in the process of generosity helps us develop patience and humility, qualities that enrich every aspect of life. At its core, generosity is an act of love. It is a way of saying, "I see you, I care for you, and I want to make your journey a little lighter." This love transcends circumstances, creating connections that are enduring and transformative. Through generosity, we experience the profound truth that giving is not a loss, but a gain, a gift that enriches both the giver and the receiver. Generosity without expectation is a powerful force for happiness, one that ripples outward in ways we may never fully see or understand. It reminds us that we are all part of an interconnected web of life, where every act of kindness has the potential to create lasting change. Through generosity, we not only uplift others, but also discover the joy, purpose, and fulfillment that come from living with an open heart. Generosity unlocks a unique kind of joy, a joy rooted in connection and shared humanity. But while giving fosters happiness, life inevitably brings challenges that test our ability to remain open and resilient. These moments demand something deeper: patience and acceptance. Life doesn't always unfold as we wish, and the ability to face its trials with grace transforms hardship into growth. Patience and acceptance are not passive acts, but powerful tools that build resilience and help us embrace life as it is, rather than as we think it should be. Patience begins with slowing down. The modern world often pulls us into a relentless pace, creating a sense of urgency in nearly everything we do. When challenges arise, this impatience magnifies stress, leaving us feeling overwhelmed and frustrated. Cultivating patience allows us to pause, breathe, and approach situations with clarity. It creates a space where we can respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, shifting the energy from tension to calm determination. Acceptance, on the other hand, is about acknowledging reality without resistance. This doesn't mean resignation or giving up. It means seeing things as they are instead of fighting against them. Resistance often adds unnecessary suffering, as we expend energy wishing things were different instead of working with what is. Acceptance provides the foundation for meaningful action, rooted in understanding rather than denial. Patience and acceptance often go hand in hand. Patience allows us to sit with discomfort, while acceptance helps us make peace with its presence. Together, they create a powerful mindset that enables us to navigate even the most difficult circumstances. This mindset fosters resilience, as it teaches us to adapt rather than break under pressure. One of the first steps in cultivating patience is learning to let go of control. So much of life is unpredictable, and clinging to the illusion of control often leads to frustration. By releasing this need, we open ourselves to the natural flow of events, trusting that we can navigate whatever comes our way. This trust doesn't eliminate challenges, but reduces the anxiety and resistance that often accompany them. Acceptance also requires letting go of judgment. When we label situations as good or bad, we create mental barriers that prevent us from fully engaging with the present. Acceptance means seeing things without assigning value, recognizing that even difficulties have something to teach us. This perspective shifts our focus from what is wrong to what can be learned or appreciated. Patience is often tested in relationships, where differing perspectives and behaviors can create tension. Practicing patience with others involves listening without interrupting, allowing space for their emotions, and recognizing that everyone moves at their own pace. This approach fosters understanding and strengthens connections, as it shows respect and empathy for the other person's experience. Acceptance in relationship involves embracing people as they are, rather than trying to change them to fit our expectations. It means valuing their uniqueness and recognizing that imperfections are part of being human. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but distinguishing between what can be addressed and what simply needs understanding. Acceptance creates a foundation for genuine connection, free from the strain of unrealistic demands. Life's challenges often test our patience with ourselves. We may feel frustrated by our own mistakes, limitations, or perceived failures. Cultivating patience means treating ourselves with the same kindness we would offer a friend. It's about allowing ourselves the time and space to grow without the pressure of perfection. Patience with ourselves fosters self-compassion, which is essential for resilience. Self-acceptance goes hand in hand with this process. It means acknowledging our strengths and weaknesses without harsh criticism. By accepting ourselves as we are, we build a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on external validation. This self-acceptance empowers us to move forward with confidence, knowing that we are worthy despite our flaws. Patience and acceptance are also key to navigating uncertainty. Life is full of unknowns, and the inability to predict the future can create anxiety. Patience helps us stay present, focusing on what we can do in the moment rather than worrying about what lies ahead. Acceptance reminds us that uncertainty is a natural part of life and that we have the strength to face whatever comes our way. One of the greatest challenges to patience is the need for immediate results. We live in a culture that values instant gratification, making it difficult to stay committed to long-term goals or processes. Patience teaches us to value the journey rather than fixating on the destination. It reminds us that growth takes time and that each step, no matter how small, is part of a larger picture. Acceptance plays a similar role in managing expectations. When we set rigid goals or timelines, we often feel disheartened when reality doesn't align with our plans. Acceptance allows us to adjust our expectations, appreciating progress rather than fixating on perceived shortcomings. This flexibility reduces stress and keeps us motivated, even when things don't go as planned. Patience and acceptance are also vital in times of grief or loss. These experiences often bring a flood of emotions that can feel overwhelming. Patience helps us navigate these emotions without rushing through them or suppressing them. It gives us the space to process and heal at our own pace. Acceptance, meanwhile, allows us to honor what has been lost while finding a way to move forward. Together, they create a path through the pain, leading us toward a place of peace. The practice of mindfulness supports patience and acceptance. By staying present with what is happening in the moment, we reduce the tendency to dwell on the past or worry about the future. Mindfulness helps us observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, creating a sense of calm and clarity. This awareness strengthens our ability to respond to challenges with grace. Gratitude also plays a role in cultivating patience and acceptance. When we focus on what we have rather than what we lack, we shift our perspective from frustration to appreciation. Gratitude doesn't erase difficulties but reminds us of the good that exists alongside them. This balanced view makes it easier to approach challenges with a sense of patience and possibility. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, is built through the practice of patience and acceptance. Each time we navigate a challenge with these qualities, we strengthen our capacity to face future difficulties. Resilience is not about avoiding hardship, but about developing the skills and mindset to rise above it. Patience and acceptance are also acts of self-empowerment. They remind us that while we cannot control everything, we can control how we respond. This shift in focus from external circumstances to internal choices creates a sense of agency and confidence. It empowers us to approach life's challenges with strength and grace. Ultimately, patience and acceptance teach us to live in harmony with life rather than in opposition to it. They help us find peace in the midst of chaos, growth in the midst of struggle, and joy in the midst of uncertainty. By embracing these qualities, we transform challenges into opportunities for learning and renewal. We discover that life, even with its imperfections, is a journey worth embracing fully. Patience and acceptance empower us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace, but even the strongest resolve can be tested by the intensity of the moment. When emotions rise or chaos surrounds us, we need a tool to ground us, a way to reconnect with calm and clarity. The breath, always present and reliable, becomes that anchor. It is a simple yet profound practice that draws us back to the here and now, offering inner peace when the world feels overwhelming. Through mindful breathing, we unlock a path to stillness, balance, and renewed strength. The breath is the bridge between body and mind, constantly flowing without our conscious effort. Yet, when we bring awareness to this natural rhythm, it transforms into a source of tranquility. By observing the inhale and exhale, we create a moment of pause, a space where thoughts slow down and the noise of the world begins to fade. This simple act of noticing cultivates mindfulness, helping us stay present and grounded in the midst of life's demands. Mindful breathing is accessible to everyone, requiring no special tools or settings. It can be practiced in the quiet of solitude or amidst the bustle of daily life. All it asks is your attention, a willingness to tune into the breath and let it guide you. This practice is not about controlling the breath or forcing it into a pattern. It's about noticing its natural flow and allowing it to bring you into harmony with the present. Focusing on the breath shifts your attention away from intrusive thoughts or overwhelming emotions. When the mind feels scattered, returning to the rhythm of breathing acts as a reset button, clearing mental clutter and restoring focus. Each breath becomes an anchor, tethering you to the present moment and freeing you from the grip of the past or future. The practice of deep, intentional breathing offers additional benefits. When we take slow, deep breaths, it signals the body to relax, reducing the stress response. The heart rate slows, blood pressure stabilizes, and the nervous system shifts into a state of calm. This physiological response creates a ripple effect, calming not only the body, but also the mind. In this state of relaxation, clarity emerges, and challenges feel less daunting. Mindful breathing is particularly powerful during moments of heightened emotion. Anger, anxiety, and fear often manifest as shallow, rapid breaths, intensifying the feeling of distress. By shifting to slow, deliberate breathing, we interrupt this cycle, soothing the mind and body. This practice doesn't suppress emotions, but allows them to pass through us without overwhelming us, creating space for understanding and resolution. The simplicity of mindful breathing makes it a versatile tool for inner peace. It can be practiced for a few moments during a busy day or as part of a longer meditation session. Incorporating it into daily routines, such as while walking, waiting, or preparing meals, transforms ordinary moments into opportunities for mindfulness. These small practices accumulate, creating a foundation of calm that supports you in all areas of life. Breath awareness also enhances self-awareness. By focusing on the breath, we become attuned to the subtle changes in our body and emotions. This awareness helps us recognize stress or tension before it escalates, allowing us to address it with compassion and care. The breath becomes a mirror, reflecting our inner state and guiding us toward balance. For many, the breath is a reminder of life's impermanence and interconnectedness. Each inhale brings nourishment, and each exhale releases what is no longer needed. This cycle mirrors the ebb and flow of life, teaching us to embrace change with grace. Through this lens, mindful breathing becomes a practice of acceptance, helping us let go of resistance and find peace in the present. Breathing mindfully also fosters gratitude. When we pause to notice the breath, we are reminded of the body's remarkable ability to sustain us. This simple act of gratitude deepens our connection to ourselves and the world around us. It shifts our perspective from what we lack to the abundance we carry within. The practice of mindful breathing can also deepen our relationships. When we are grounded in the breath, we bring a calmer, more present version of ourselves to our interactions. This presence fosters understanding, empathy, and connection, enhancing the quality of our relationships. The breath becomes a tool not only for personal peace, but also for harmony with others. Over time, mindful breathing strengthens resilience. By practicing this technique regularly, we train the mind to return to calm, even in challenging situations. The breath becomes a trusted companion, a source of stability that is always available. This resilience empowers us to face life's uncertainties with confidence and poise. Breathing practices can also be adapted to suit different needs. For relaxation, slow and deep breaths create a sense of ease. For focus, a steady and rhythmic pattern sharpens concentration. For energy, a more dynamic can invigorate the body and mind. These variations allow us to tailor the practice to our circumstances, making it an invaluable tool for well-being. Mindful breathing also enhances creativity. When the mind is calm and focused, it creates space for new ideas and perspectives to emerge. The breath clears mental clutter, allowing us to approach challenges with fresh insights and inspiration. Creativity flourishes in this state of openness and clarity. Practicing mindful breathing also helps cultivate patience. By focusing on the present moment, we let go of the urge to rush or control outcomes. This patience extends beyond the practice itself, influencing how we approach tasks, challenges, and relationships. The breath teaches us to trust in the unfolding of life, one moment at a time. The power of the breath lies in its accessibility and simplicity. It doesn't require perfect conditions or advanced skills, only a willingness to pause and notice. Whether you are seeking calm during a stressful day or a deeper connection to yourself, the breath is always there to guide you. Through mindful breathing, we find clarity amidst confusion, calm amidst chaos, and peace amidst life's uncertainties. This practice reminds us that the tools for inner peace are already within us, waiting to be discovered and embraced. The breath is not just a function of the body, but a gateway to the mind, a bridge to the present, and a path to profound tranquility. The breath anchors us in the present, offering clarity and calm, yet even the breath itself reflects a deeper truth. Everything flows, changes, and eventually moves on. Life is transient, unfolding in cycles of beginnings and endings, gains and losses. This impermanence can feel unsettling, but it holds a profound beauty when embraced. By understanding and accepting the fleeting nature of all things, we unlock a deeper appreciation for life's precious moments and discover joy in the constant flow. Impermanence is woven into the fabric of existence. Seasons shift, relationships evolve, and even the cells in our bodies renew themselves over time. Clinging to the illusion of permanence creates resistance, as we try to hold on to what is destined to change. This resistance often leads to suffering, as we struggle against the natural rhythm of life. Embracing impermanence, however, allows us to move with this rhythm, finding peace in the ebb and flow. Acknowledging impermanence transforms the way we experience joy. When we accept that moments are fleeting, we savor them more deeply. A sunset becomes more vivid, a conversation more meaningful, a smile more cherished. Knowing that nothing lasts forever doesn't diminish the beauty of life. It amplifies it. Each moment becomes a gift, not to be taken for granted, but to be fully lived. This awareness also deepens our connections with others. Relationships often feel strained when we take them for granted or expect them to remain unchanged. Recognizing the impermanence of these connections inspires gratitude and attentiveness. We begin to value the time we have with loved ones, appreciating their presence rather than focusing on expectations or grievances. Impermanence challenges us to let go of attachment, not in a way that diminishes love or joy, but in a way that allows freedom. Clinging tightly to people, possessions, or outcomes creates anxiety and fear of loss. By loosening our grip, we create space for what is to unfold naturally. This doesn't mean detachment or indifference. It means engaging fully with life while remaining open to its transitions. The transient nature of life also teaches us resilience. Change is inevitable, and loss is a part of the human experience. Accepting this truth helps us navigate difficult times with grace. Instead of resisting or denying change, we learn to adapt and grow through it. Impermanence reminds us that even pain and hardship are temporary, giving us hope and strength to persevere. Understanding impermanence also reshapes our relationship with success and failure. Achievements are often celebrated as milestones, but they too are moments that come and go. Similarly, failures lose their sting when we recognize their fleeting nature. This perspective encourages us to focus on the journey rather than the destination, finding fulfillment in the process rather than fixating on outcomes. Impermanence invites us to live in the present. Dwelling on the past or worrying about the future distracts us from the life unfolding before us. When we accept that each moment is unique and unrepeatable, we become more mindful of how we spend our time and energy. This mindfulness leads to a richer, more intentional way of living. Even the act of letting go becomes an act of love when viewed through the lens of impermanence. Releasing what no longer serves us, whether it's a toxic relationship, an outdated belief, or a material possession, creates room for growth and renewal. Letting go doesn't erase the past. It honors it while making space for what lies ahead. Impermanence also teaches us humility. It reminds us that we are part of a larger cycle of change, one that extends beyond our individual lives. This perspective fosters a sense of interconnectedness as we see ourselves as part of a greater whole. It encourages us to approach life with awe and reverence, recognizing the beauty in its constant evolution. Gratitude naturally flows from this understanding. When we see life as a series of fleeting moments, we begin to cherish the small joys that might otherwise go unnoticed. A kind gesture, a shared laugh, or a quiet moment of reflection becomes imbued with meaning. Gratitude transforms impermanence from a source of sorrow into a source of wonder. Creativity thrives in impermanence. The ever-changing nature of life inspires us to explore new ideas, adapt to challenges, and express ourselves in ways that reflect the present moment. Art, music, and storytelling often capture the essence of impermanence, celebrating life's transient beauty through fleeting expressions of creativity. Impermanence also fosters compassion. When we recognize that everyone is navigating their own cycles of change, we become more understanding and empathetic. This compassion extends not only to others, but also to ourselves, as we acknowledge our shared humanity and embrace the imperfections that come with being alive. The natural world offers countless lessons in impermanence. Flowers bloom and fade, rivers flow and shift, and even mountains are shaped by time. These cycles remind us that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Nature teaches us to find peace in the temporary, to celebrate life's rhythms, and to trust in the process of renewal. Impermanence challenges us to re-evaluate our priorities. When we accept that time is finite, we become more intentional about how we spend it. This clarity helps us focus on what truly matters: relationships, experiences, and personal growth, rather than getting lost in the pursuit of fleeting distractions. Even grief, one of life's most profound experiences of impermanence, carries the seeds of transformation. Loss reminds us of the depth of our connections and the impact others have on our lives. While grief is painful, it also reveals the strength of our love and the resilience of the human spirit. Through grief, we learn to honor what was while finding the courage to move forward. Impermanence is not an obstacle to happiness, but a pathway to it. By accepting life's transient nature, we free ourselves from the burden of clinging and open ourselves to the joy of being fully present. This perspective doesn't eliminate challenges or losses, but transforms how we relate to them, allowing us to find beauty even in imperfection. Through the lens of impermanence, we see that life's value lies not in its permanence, but in its ability to change, grow, and surprise us. Each moment is a brushstroke on the canvas of our lives, contributing to a masterpiece that is constantly evolving. This realization inspires us to approach life with curiosity, openness, and a deep sense of appreciation. As we embrace impermanence, we discover that it is not something to be overcome, but something to be celebrated. It teaches us to live with intention, to love without fear, and to find joy in the ever-changing flow of life. By aligning ourselves with this truth, we uncover a profound sense of peace and gratitude, one that carries us through all of life's transitions. The beauty of impermanence shows us the richness of life's ever-changing flow, but it also reveals a deeper truth. The need for control often creates the very tension we seek to avoid. Holding tightly to outcomes, people or situations can feel like securing stability, but in reality, it often leads to frustration and exhaustion. Letting go of control is not about giving up. It's about trusting life's natural rhythm and finding happiness in the freedom that comes with surrender. Control is a comforting illusion. It creates the sense that we can shape every detail of our lives, ensuring that nothing unexpected disrupts our plans. But life, in its unpredictability, often has other ideas. When things don't go as planned, the rigidity of control amplifies stress and disappointment. By letting go, we release this struggle and open ourselves to the possibilities beyond what we can see or plan. Surrendering control begins with acceptance, acknowledging what is beyond our influence and making peace with it. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It means directing energy toward what we can impact and releasing the rest. Acceptance transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth as we learn to adapt and flow with life's changes rather than resist them. Letting go also fosters resilience. When we stop clinging to specific outcomes, we become more flexible and open to alternative paths. This adaptability allows us to navigate challenges with greater ease, finding solutions and opportunities in unexpected places. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulty, but about responding to it with strength and grace. The need for control often stems from fear of failure, loss, or uncertainty. Letting go requires confronting these fears and trusting in our ability to handle whatever arises. This trust is not blind optimism, but a deep confidence in our capacity to learn, grow, and persevere. By releasing fear, we create space for courage and peace. Control can also strain relationships, as we attempt to manage the actions or emotions of others. Letting go in relationships means honoring the autonomy of those we care about, allowing them to be themselves, without trying to mold them to fit our expectations. This freedom strengthens connections, fostering mutual respect and deeper understanding. Letting go is equally important in our relationship with ourselves. We often hold ourselves to rigid standards, expecting perfection and criticizing every perceived flaw. This self-imposed control creates unnecessary pressure and erodes self-esteem. By releasing these expectations, we allow ourselves to grow and thrive without the burden of constant judgment. The practice of letting go extends to our attachment to material possessions. While it's natural to find comfort in belongings, clinging to them as symbols of identity or security can become limiting. Letting go of excess allows us to focus on what truly matters, creating a sense of clarity and freedom. This simplicity fosters a deeper appreciation for the things we choose to keep. Letting go also transforms our approach to goals and ambitions. While striving for success is natural, attaching our happiness to specific achievements can lead to dissatisfaction. By focusing on effort and growth rather than rigid outcomes, we find fulfillment in the process. This perspective encourages us to pursue our goals with passion while remaining open to where the journey takes us. Surrendering control doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or giving up on aspirations. It means finding balance, taking action where we can make a difference while accepting the unpredictability of life. This balance reduces stress and allows us to engage with life more fully, free from the constant need to control every detail. The act of letting go is also a profound act of trust. It invites us to trust ourselves, others, and the flow of life. This trust is not naive, but grounded in the understanding that we are capable and resilient. It allows us to release the weight of control and embrace the freedom of the present moment. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in this process. By staying present, we become more aware of our tendency to grasp or resist. Mindfulness helps us recognize these patterns without judgment, creating the space to let go. Each breath becomes a reminder to release what no longer serves us and to welcome what is. Gratitude complements this practice, shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have. When we let go of control, we often discover unexpected blessings, a new opportunity, a deepened relationship, or a moment of peace. Gratitude helps us see these gifts, reinforcing the value of surrender. Letting go also requires patience. It is not a one-time decision, but an ongoing practice as we continuously encounter situations that test our resolve. Patience allows us to approach this journey with compassion for ourselves, knowing that progress often comes in small, steady steps. Creativity flourishes in the space created by letting go. When we release rigid expectations, we become more open to experimentation and innovation. This freedom allows us to explore new ideas and perspectives, finding solutions and inspiration in unexpected places. Creativity thrives in the flow of life, unrestricted by the need for control. The process of letting go deepens our connection to the present. Control often pulls us into the future, fixating on outcomes or what might go wrong. By releasing this focus, we return to the now, where life is unfolding in its fullness. The present moment becomes a source of peace and joy, free from the tension of control. Letting go also enhances our sense of wonder. When we stop trying to predict or manage every detail, we open ourselves to the beauty of spontaneity. Life's surprises, both big and small, become sources of delight and discovery. This openness allows us to see the world with fresh eyes, appreciating its richness and complexity. The happiness of letting go is rooted in freedom, the freedom to live authentically, to connect deeply, and to embrace life as it is. This freedom doesn't eliminate challenges or hardships, but transforms how we relate to them. It empowers us to face life's uncertainties with confidence, grace, and a sense of possibility. Through the practice of letting go, we discover that control was never the source of security or happiness. True peace lies in trusting ourselves and the natural flow of life, allowing us to move through the world with lightness and ease. By releasing the need for control, we not only find happiness, but also create space for growth, connection, and the endless possibilities that life has to offer. Letting go of control opens the door to freedom, but in that newfound space, a question arises. What truly brings joy? Life often feels weighed down by the unnecessary things, habits, and thoughts that crowd our days and cloud our peace. Simplicity offers an antidote. By choosing less, we uncover what truly matters, creating space for clarity, connection, and contentment. Simplicity is not about deprivation. It's about alignment, about finding harmony in what remains when all else is stripped away. Simplicity begins in the mind. Mental clutter, overthinking, constant worries, and unnecessary distractions often feels heavier than physical possessions. These thoughts accumulate, creating noise that drowns out our inner voice. Quieting this noise begins with mindfulness, the practice of observing thoughts without judgment and letting go of those that no longer serve us. Mindfulness allows us to approach life with clarity, focusing on the present rather than being pulled in countless directions. Physical simplicity is just as transformative. The possessions we accumulate often represent attempts to fill voids or seek validation. Yet, the more we gather, the less space we have for what truly brings us joy. Simplifying our environment, whether by decluttering a room, donating unused items, or adopting a more intentional approach to consumption, fosters a sense of calm. A clear, uncluttered space reflects and supports a clear, uncluttered mind. Simplicity is not about rigid minimalism, but about intentionality. It's not about owning the least, but about owning what aligns with your values and needs. Each item we choose to keep becomes a reflection of what we cherish, a reminder of what matters most. This intentionality extends beyond things to the commitments we make, the relationships we nurture, and the way we spend our time. Time itself is one of the greatest areas where simplicity creates harmony. Modern life often feels like a race, with schedules packed to the brim and little room to breathe. By simplifying how we allocate our time, we reclaim a sense of balance. Prioritizing what truly matters, whether that's family, self-care, or creative pursuits, allows us to engage deeply rather than skimming the surface of life. Simplicity also invites us to examine our habits. Many routines, while comforting, may no longer serve us. Re-evaluating these habits with honesty and compassion helps us let go of those that drain our energy and replace them with practices that uplift and sustain us. Each small shift contributes to a more harmonious and intentional way of living. The beauty of simplicity lies in its ability to foster connection. When we strip away distractions, we make room for deeper relationships with ourselves, with others, and with the world around us. Conversations become richer, presence becomes easier, and the bonds we form carry more meaning. Simplicity helps us see and appreciate others without the filters of judgment or expectation. In a world that often equates more with better, simplicity offers a counterbalance. It reminds us that fulfillment doesn't come from accumulation, but from appreciation. Gratitude flourishes in simplicity, as we learn to cherish what we have rather than yearning for what we don't. This mindset shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance, bringing joy to even the smallest moments. Simplicity also nurtures creativity. When we clear away the excess, we create space for new ideas and perspectives to emerge. The mind, no longer burdened by unnecessary clutter, becomes a fertile ground for inspiration. This creativity extends beyond art or work. It touches every aspect of life, helping us approach challenges with ingenuity and adaptability. Nature offers a profound lesson in simplicity. A tree doesn't hold on to every leaf, nor does it seek to adorn itself with more than it needs. It exists in harmony with its environment, taking only what it requires and giving back in return. Observing nature reminds us that simplicity is not about lack, but about balance, about living in tune with our surroundings and ourselves. Simplicity also fosters resilience. By focusing on essentials, we build a foundation that withstands life's challenges. When we are not weighed down by the unnecessary, we have more energy and clarity to face difficulties. This resilience is not just about survival, but about thriving, about finding joy even in the midst of adversity. Letting go of excess, whether physical, mental, or emotional, also deepens our sense of freedom. Simplicity liberates us from the need to constantly keep up, to compare, or to prove ourselves. It allows us to live authentically, guided by our values rather than external pressures. This freedom creates a sense of ease, a lightness that permeates every aspect of life. Simplicity also enhances our relationship with time. When we let go of the constant pursuit of more, we discover the richness of the present. Time slows down, and moments become more vivid. This presence fosters a deeper appreciation for life's beauty, from the warmth of a morning sun to the laughter shared with a friend. The practice of simplicity is ongoing, a continuous process of re-evaluating and realigning. It requires courage to let go, to say no, and to resist the pull of unnecessary distractions. Yet, with each step, we find that what remains is more meaningful, more aligned, and more fulfilling. Simplicity becomes not just a choice, but a way of being, a path to harmony and joy. Through simplicity, we rediscover the essence of what it means to live well. It's not about striving for perfection, but about finding balance, about recognizing that less truly can be more. In this space, we uncover clarity, connection, and a deep sense of peace, embracing life in its fullest, most authentic form. Simplicity clears space for what truly matters, and within that space, a quiet but profound power emerges. Kindness. It's easy to overlook the significance of small acts in a world that often celebrates grand gestures. Yet, kindness holds the ability to touch hearts, shift perspectives, and create ripples that extend far beyond the initial act. The impact of kindness is transformative, not only for those who receive it, but also for those who give. It connects us, strengthens communities, and reminds us of our shared humanity. Kindness begins with awareness. In the busyness of life, it's easy to miss opportunities to show care and compassion. Yet, when we slow down and look around, we begin to see how much we can contribute. A simple smile, a few kind words, or an act of patience can shift someone's day entirely. These small gestures often carry more weight than we realize, creating moments of connection in a world that can sometimes feel disconnected. The ripple effect of kindness starts with one person, but rarely ends there. A kind act often inspires others to do the same, creating a chain reaction that spreads far beyond the initial gesture. When someone experiences kindness, they are more likely to pass it on, touching the lives of people the original giver may never even meet. This chain of positivity reinforces the idea that our actions, no matter how small, have far-reaching consequences. Kindness also has the power to break down barriers. In moments of tension or misunderstanding, a kind gesture can soften hearts and open doors to dialogue. It reminds us that even in disagreement, there is room for respect and compassion. Kindness bridges divides, creating common ground where none seemed possible. One of the profound effects of kindness is its ability to heal. For someone going through a difficult time, even the smallest act of compassion can provide comfort and hope. Kindness doesn't need to solve problems to make a difference. Its presence alone often reminds people that they are not alone. This sense of support can be a lifeline, offering strength in moments of vulnerability. Kindness also enriches relationships. When we approach others with generosity and care, we build trust and deepen connections. Acts of kindness, whether it's lending an ear, helping with a task, or simply being present, strengthen the bonds that tie us together. These relationships, in turn, provide a foundation of support and joy that enriches our lives. The beauty of kindness lies in its accessibility. It doesn't require wealth, status, or special skills. Everyone has the capacity to be kind, and the opportunities to practice it are endless. From holding the door open for a stranger to offering encouragement to a friend, acts of kindness are woven into the fabric of daily life. The simplicity of these gestures underscores their power, proving that it doesn't take much to make a difference. Kindness also transforms the giver. Studies show that acts of kindness release endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, creating a sense of well-being and fulfillment. This phenomenon, often referred to as the helper's high, highlights how giving to others benefits not just the recipient, but also the one who gives. Kindness creates a cycle of positivity, nourishing both sides of the interaction. When practiced consistently, kindness becomes a mindset, a way of moving through the world with openness and generosity. This mindset shifts how we perceive challenges and opportunities. Instead of focusing solely on personal gain, we begin to see how we can contribute to the well-being of others. This perspective fosters a sense of purpose and interconnectedness, reminding us that our actions are part of a larger whole. Kindness also fosters gratitude. When we give to others, we become more aware of our own blessings. This awareness deepens our appreciation for what we have and inspires us to continue sharing with others. Gratitude and kindness reinforce each other, creating a cycle of positivity that enhances both individual and collective well-being. In moments of conflict, kindness has the power to disarm. A thoughtful gesture or a calm response can diffuse tension and shift the tone of an interaction. Kindness doesn't mean avoiding confrontation or ignoring issues. It means addressing them with respect and empathy. This approach creates space for understanding and resolution, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for growth. Kindness also extends to how we treat ourselves. Self-kindness is not selfish, but essential, as it replenishes our capacity to care for others. When we nurture our well-being, whether through rest, reflection, or self-compassion, we strengthen our ability to show up for those around us. Kindness, like any other resource, must be cultivated within before it can be shared fully. The ripple effect of kindness is particularly powerful in communities. When kindness becomes a shared value, it fosters a sense of belonging and cooperation. Communities built on mutual care and support thrive as members feel valued and connected. These environments encourage further acts of kindness, creating a culture that benefits everyone involved. Kindness also plays a role in shaping the future. Children who witness or experience acts of kindness are more likely to practice it themselves, carrying those values into adulthood. By modeling kindness, we contribute to a world where compassion and generosity are the norm rather than the exception. Kindness is not always easy. It requires patience, effort, and sometimes courage, especially when extended to those who are difficult to love or understand. Yet, it is in these moments that kindness has the greatest impact. Offering compassion to someone who challenges us not only helps them, but also fosters our own growth, teaching us empathy and resilience. The transformative power of kindness lies in its ability to create connection. In a world that often emphasizes individualism, kindness reminds us of our shared humanity. It dissolves the walls we build around ourselves, opening us to the richness of relationships and the joy of giving. Kindness also has the power to inspire. A single act can serve as a reminder of the goodness that exists in the world, encouraging others to contribute in their own way. This inspiration creates momentum, amplifying the impact of each act and spreading positivity far and wide. The ripple effect of kindness is a testament to the interconnectedness of life. Every act, no matter how small, contributes to a greater whole, creating waves of change that extend beyond what we can see. Kindness reminds us that we are not isolated, but part of a larger tapestry, woven together by the threads of compassion and care. Through kindness, we discover that the simplest acts can carry the greatest meaning. It teaches us that we don't need to change the world in one grand gesture. We only need to touch one life at a time. These moments of connection, multiplied by countless others, create a legacy of goodness that endures long after the act itself. In practicing kindness, we uncover a profound truth, that giving to others enriches our own lives in ways that are immeasurable. Kindness is not just an action, but a way of being, a choice to see and honor the humanity in everyone we meet. In doing so, we create ripples that transform not only individual lives, but the world as a whole. Kindness ripples outward, touching lives and creating waves of connection, but sustaining that warmth requires intentional effort. Happiness, like kindness, thrives not as a fleeting emotion, but as a deliberate practice. It is cultivated through daily choices and rituals that nurture the mind, body, and spirit. Buddhist principles offer profound guidance in this journey, teaching us that joy arises not from grand achievements, but from how we engage with life's simplest moments. Incorporating these practices into your daily routine transforms happiness from a pursuit into a way of being. Happiness begins with awareness. Each day presents countless opportunities for joy, but they are often overlooked in the rush of routine. Slowing down and paying attention to the present moment allows us to see the beauty in the ordinary. A warm cup of tea, the sound of birds, or the comfort of a deep breath. This awareness grounds us in the now, reminding us that happiness is not something to chase, but something to notice and embrace. Gratitude is a cornerstone of daily happiness. Taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you are thankful for shifts your focus from what is missing to what is abundant. This practice doesn't have to be elaborate. Even a mental note of appreciation for small blessings can elevate your mood and deepen your sense of contentment. Gratitude turns ordinary experiences into sources of joy, enriching your perspective on life. Mindfulness infuses each day with intention. By bringing your full attention to whatever you're doing, whether it's washing dishes, walking, or speaking with a friend, you transform mundane tasks into meaningful experiences. Mindfulness is not about perfection, but about presence, about fully engaging with life as it unfolds. This practice reduces stress and increases satisfaction as it anchors you in the richness of the moment. Acts of kindness, practiced daily, also nurture happiness. These acts don't have to be grand. A kind word, a smile, or a small gesture of help can create profound connections. Making kindness a habit shifts your focus outward, reminding you of the shared humanity that binds us all. This outward focus reduces self-centered worries, creating a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Cultivating a sense of purpose is another essential ritual for happiness. Purpose doesn't have to mean a grand mission. It can be as simple as setting an intention for the day. Starting each morning with a clear intention, whether it's to approach tasks with patience, show kindness, or embrace curiosity, creates a sense of direction. This practice aligns your actions with your values, bringing coherence and meaning to your daily life. Mindful breathing offers a simple yet profound practice for happiness. Taking a few moments throughout the day to focus on your breath calms the mind and centers the spirit. These pauses create space for reflection and renewal, allowing you to approach each moment with greater clarity. The breath becomes a companion, guiding you back to yourself whenever you feel overwhelmed or scattered. Connection is another daily ritual that fosters joy. Reaching out to loved ones, sharing a laugh, or simply spending time in someone's presence strengthens bonds and reminds you of the support around you. Even brief moments of connection, like a heartfelt conversation or a shared meal, can have a lasting impact on your sense of well-being. Nature provides an endless source of happiness, and integrating it into your daily routine amplifies this joy. Whether it's a walk in the park, tending to a garden, or simply sitting under a tree, time in nature calms the mind and rejuvenates the spirit. The natural world offers lessons in resilience, beauty, and impermanence, reminding us of the interconnectedness of all life. Simplicity enhances happiness by reducing distractions and creating space for what truly matters. Simplifying your surroundings, commitments, and thoughts brings clarity and peace. Each day, consider what you can let go of, whether it's an unnecessary task, a negative thought, or an unhelpful habit. This practice of intentional simplicity creates room for joy and lightness. Rituals of self-care are foundational to happiness. Nourishing your body with healthy food, movement and rest supports not only physical well-being, but also emotional balance. These acts of care send a message to yourself that your health and happiness are worth prioritizing. Small, consistent practices, like stretching in the morning, drinking water, or taking time to unwind, create a stable foundation for joy. Reflection at the end of the day deepens your relationship with happiness. Taking a moment to review the day's highlights, challenges, and lessons fosters self-awareness and gratitude. This reflection is not about judgment, but about understanding, acknowledging what brought joy, what could improve, and how you can approach tomorrow with intention. It's a way of closing each day with clarity and purpose. The practice of detachment, inspired by Buddhist teachings, is another daily ritual that nurtures joy. Letting go of clinging to specific outcomes or expectations reduces stress and creates freedom. This detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means engaging fully while remaining open to whatever unfolds. It's a practice of trusting the flow of life, which brings a sense of peace and resilience. Creativity adds vibrancy to daily life. Whether through art, writing, cooking, or problem-solving, creative expression taps into a deep source of joy. Engaging in creative activities allows you to explore new perspectives, connect with your inner self, and bring something unique into the world. These moments of creation remind you of your potential and the beauty of exploration. Laughter and playfulness are often overlooked but essential components of happiness. Finding moments to laugh, whether through a funny story, a favorite show, or time with loved ones, lightens the spirit and strengthens connections. Playfulness, even in small doses, brings a sense of freedom and joy, reminding you not to take life too seriously. Service to others transforms daily routines into opportunities for purpose and connection. Helping a neighbor, volunteering, or offering support to a friend shifts the focus from individual concerns to collective well-being. These acts of service create a ripple effect, spreading positivity while reinforcing your sense of interconnectedness. Gratitude. Journaling amplifies Hachupi by capturing moments of joy and appreciation. Writing down a few things you're thankful for each day creates a record of positivity that you can revisit during challenging times. This practice strengthens the habit of noticing and celebrating the good in your life, fostering a sense of abundance. Silence, too, plays a role in cultivating happiness. Creating moments of quiet each day, whether through meditation, deep breathing, or simply sitting still, allows the mind to rest and reset. In this silence, clarity emerges, and the noise of the world fades away, revealing the peace that lies within. Daily rituals for happiness are not about adding complexity, but about creating intention. They transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, enriching each moment with meaning and joy. By weaving these practices into your routine, you build a life that reflects your values and nurtures your well-being. Happiness, as a practice, becomes a way of honoring the beauty of each day, cultivating a sense of fulfillment that radiates through every aspect of life. Happiness, cultivated through daily practices, creates a life of fulfillment and presence. Yet even with intentional rituals, the external world constantly pulls at our emotions and thoughts. Moments of frustration, irritation, or stress seem unavoidable, and reactions often happen before reflection. Buddhism teaches that true mastery of life begins with mastery of the mind. Learning to pause, to observe instead of react, transforms not only how we respond to challenges, but also how we experience peace and freedom. Control over the mind and emotions starts with awareness. Most reactions arise from unconscious patterns, habits formed over time. These patterns often run on autopilot, making us act without thinking. Awareness interrupts this cycle. By pausing and observing what's happening internally, whether it's frustration, fear, or anger, we create a space between the stimulus and the response. In that space lies the power to choose a response rather than falling into a reaction. The key to this awareness is mindfulness. When we cultivate mindfulness, we become attuned to the present moment, noticing not only external events, but also our internal state. This practice helps us identify triggers before they escalate into full-blown reactions. For example, when frustration starts to bubble up, mindfulness allows us to notice the tension in the body, the quickened breath, or the racing thoughts. Recognizing these signals gives us the chance to step back and regain composure. Breathing becomes an anchor in these moments. Focusing on the breath slows the physiological response to stress and calms the nervous system. This simple act not only reduces the intensity of emotions, but also brings clarity to the mind. When the mind is clear, we can approach situations with thoughtfulness and intention, rather than letting emotions dictate our actions. Understanding the source of emotions is another powerful step in controlling reactions. Emotions often arise from unmet expectations, unresolved past experiences, or fears about the future. By exploring these roots with curiosity and compassion, we gain insight into why certain situations provoke strong reactions. This understanding weakens the grip of emotional triggers, allowing us to respond from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. Buddhism emphasizes the practice of detachment as a means to emotional freedom. Detachment does not mean apathy or indifference. It means releasing the need to control or cling to specific outcomes. Much of our emotional turbulence comes from resistance to change, loss, or uncertainty. Detachment softens this resistance, allowing us to flow with life's natural rhythms rather than fighting against them. This practice fosters resilience, helping us navigate challenges with grace. Compassion, both for ourselves and others, plays a central role in mastering reactions. Self-compassion allows us to forgive ourselves for moments of weakness or frustration, reducing the cycle of guilt and self-criticism that often follows emotional outbursts. Compassion for others helps us see their actions through the lens of understanding rather than judgment. This perspective creates space for patience and kindness, even in challenging interactions. Recognizing the impermanence of emotions is another transformative practice. Emotions, like waves, rise and fall, never lasting forever. When we cling to anger or sadness, we prolong their intensity. By acknowledging their transient nature, we allow them to pass more freely, reducing their impact on our well-being. This practice encourages us to ride the waves of emotion rather than being swept away by them. Meditation strengthens the ability to control the mind and emotions. Through regular meditation, we train the mind to focus and observe without judgment. This discipline carries over into daily life, enhancing our ability to remain calm and centered in the face of stress. Meditation teaches us to approach the mind as an observer, recognizing thoughts and feelings without becoming entangled in them. Another powerful tool is the practice of reframing. When faced with a challenging situation, reframing involves shifting perspective to find a more constructive or compassionate view. For instance, instead of seeing criticism as an attack, it can be viewed as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perception not only reduces emotional reactivity, but also fosters a sense of empowerment. Letting go of ego-driven responses is essential for controlling reactions. The ego often interprets events as personal affronts, fueling feelings of anger or defensiveness. By recognizing that not every action or comment is about us, we free ourselves from unnecessary emotional burdens. This humility allows us to respond with clarity and balance rather than defensiveness. The practice of equanimity, a core Buddhist principle, further enhances emotional control. Equanimity is the ability to remain steady and composed regardless of external circumstances. It is not about suppressing emotions, but about maintaining inner balance. This quality enables us to face both joy and sorrow with equal presence, appreciating life's highs without clinging and enduring its lows without despair. Boundaries are another critical aspect of managing emotions and reactions. Setting healthy boundaries protects our energy and ensures that we are not constantly overwhelmed by external demands. Clear boundaries empower us to respond thoughtfully rather than react out of exhaustion or resentment. They also foster respect in relationships as they communicate our needs and limits with clarity. Recognizing the power of choice is fundamental to mastering the mind. While we cannot control external events, we always have a choice in how we respond. This awareness shifts the focus from victimhood to agency, reminding us that we are not at the mercy of our emotions or circumstances. Each choice to pause, reflect, and respond strengthens our ability to navigate life with intention. Regular self-reflection enhances this practice by helping us identify patterns and areas for growth. Taking time to review interactions or moments of emotional intensity allows us to learn from them. This process is not about dwelling on mistakes, but about cultivating self-awareness and a commitment to improvement. The journey to controlling the mind and emotions is not about perfection, but about progress. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to face challenges with courage. Each moment of mindfulness, each pause before a reaction, strengthens the foundation of emotional mastery. Over time, these practices transform not only how we respond to life, but also how we experience it, fostering a sense of peace and empowerment that endures. Mastering your emotions and controlling your reactions reveals a deeper truth. Your worth has never been tied to how others perceive you or how well you navigate challenges. Yet, in a world filled with comparisons, judgments, and external expectations, many forget their intrinsic value. Recognizing your true worth is not about proving yourself. It is about uncovering the strength, beauty, and potential that have always existed within you. This journey requires peeling away layers of doubt, fear, and societal conditioning to reconnect with your authentic self. True worth begins with self-awareness. Much of the world encourages us to define ourselves by external achievements, appearances, or relationships. These markers, while tangible, are fleeting and can never fully encompass the depth of who we are. By turning inward and reflecting on your unique qualities, passions, and values, you start to see a more authentic picture of your worth. This self-awareness builds a foundation that is unshaken by external circumstances. Letting go of comparisons is a critical step in this process. Comparing yourself to others often leads to feelings of inadequacy or superiority, both of which obscure your true value. Everyone's journey is different, shaped by unique experiences and challenges. By focusing on your own path and growth, you free yourself from the need to measure up to others. This shift allows you to appreciate your individuality and recognize your inherent worth. Self-worth is deeply connected to self-compassion. Many people are their harshest critics, holding themselves to impossible standards and berating themselves for perceived failures. Practicing kindness toward yourself nurtures a healthier relationship with who you are. This compassion doesn't excuse mistakes, but acknowledges them as part of the human experience. It allows you to grow without tearing yourself down, fostering resilience and self-acceptance. Recognizing your worth also involves setting boundaries. When you understand your value, you no longer tolerate behavior or situations that undermine your well-being. Boundaries are not about shutting others out, but about protecting your energy and ensuring that your relationships are based on mutual respect. This clarity reinforces your sense of self and communicates your worth to others. Authenticity is another key to discovering your true worth. Pretending to be someone you're not, whether to fit in or gain approval, diminishes your connection to your real self. Embracing authenticity means honoring your values, preferences, and quirks without fear of judgment. It's about living in alignment with who you are, which naturally enhances your confidence and sense of worth. The practice of gratitude also deepens your understanding of worth. When you focus on the blessings in your life and the qualities you appreciate about yourself, you shift from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. Gratitude highlights the richness of your experiences and the strengths you bring to the world, reinforcing the belief that you are enough just as you are. Forgiveness plays a transformative role in uncovering your worth. Holding on to past mistakes or regrets can weigh heavily, clouding your perception of yourself. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean ignoring the lessons those experiences offer, but releasing the shame and guilt associated with them. This release allows you to move forward with a clearer sense of self-worth and a renewed commitment to growth. Your worth is also tied to the impact you have on others. Acts of kindness, support, and encouragement remind you of the positive influence you can have. These actions, while often small, carry a ripple effect that strengthens your connections and reinforces the value you bring to the lives of those around you. Mindfulness further enhances your ability to connect with your worth. By staying present and attuned to your thoughts and emotions, you become more aware of the narratives you tell yourself. Many of these narratives may be rooted in self-doubt or societal pressures. Mindfulness allows you to challenge and rewrite these stories, replacing them with ones that affirm your inherent value. Creativity and self-expression are powerful ways to explore and celebrate your worth. Whether through art, writing, music, or other forms of creativity, expressing yourself authentically helps you reconnect with your passions and unique perspective. These moments of creation remind you that your voice and vision matter, reinforcing your sense of self. Recognizing your worth also involves embracing vulnerability. Society often equates vulnerability with weakness, but it is one of the greatest strengths. Sharing your struggles, emotions, and truths fosters deeper connections and demonstrates courage. Vulnerability is a testament to your humanity, and embracing it enhances your self-respect and authenticity. Letting go of the need for external validation is another significant step. While praise and recognition feel good, they are not the source of your worth. Relying on external approval often leads to a cycle of seeking validation, which can be exhausting and unfulfilling. True worth comes from within, rooted in a deep understanding of who you are and the value you bring simply by being yourself. Purpose is closely tied to worth. When you engage in activities or pursuits that align with your values and passions, you reinforce your sense of meaning and contribution. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It can be found in small, everyday actions that bring joy and fulfillment. Living with purpose reminds you that your presence and efforts matter. Acknowledging your worth also involves celebrating your achievements, no matter how small. Each step forward, each lesson learned, contributes to your growth and resilience. Recognizing these moments builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you are capable and deserving of success. Your worth is not diminished by challenges or setbacks. Difficulties often serve as opportunities for growth, revealing strengths and capacities you may not have known you possessed. Embracing these moments as part of your journey deepens your understanding of your resilience and worth. The journey to discovering your true worth is ongoing, requiring patience and self-reflection. It involves peeling away the layers of societal conditioning and self-doubt to uncover the truth of who you are. This process is not about becoming someone new, but about returning to yourself, embracing your unique essence and inherent value. Your worth is infinite, unshaken by external circumstances or opinions. It resides in your ability to love, grow, and contribute to the world in your own way. By nurturing this understanding and living authentically, you create a life that reflects and celebrates your true value. Understanding your worth transforms how you move through life, instilling confidence and authenticity. Yet, even with this clarity, challenges and disruptions can stir your emotions and unsettle your peace. True strength lies not only in recognizing your value, but in maintaining serenity amid life's unpredictability. The teachings of Buddhism offer a profound approach to acting with calm and purpose, no matter the storm. This practice is not about suppressing emotions, but about mastering their flow, finding clarity in the chaos, and responding to life's demands with unwavering presence. Serenity begins with acceptance, the cornerstone of Buddhist wisdom. Much of our inner turmoil arises from resistance, wishing circumstances were different, fighting against change, or clinging to outcomes. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity or resignation. It is a recognition of what is, freeing the mind from unnecessary struggle. When you accept the present moment fully, you create space for thoughtful action rather than reactive chaos. This clarity allows you to approach situations with calmness and resolve. The mind, left unchecked, is often a source of unrest. Thoughts race, fears multiply, and judgment clouds perception. Serenity comes from cultivating awareness of these patterns. Observing your thoughts without becoming entangled in them helps you distinguish between what is real and what is a projection of the mind. This practice transforms the mind from a source of distress into a tool for understanding and insight. Breathing is a powerful anchor for serenity. The breath, always with you, becomes a refuge in moments of tension or overwhelm. Focusing on its rhythm calms the nervous system and slows the cascade of reactive emotions. By returning to the breath, you reconnect with the present, grounding yourself in a state of balance. This practice doesn't eliminate challenges, but equips you to face them with steadiness and grace. Patience is another essential element of serenity. In a world that values speed and instant results, waiting often feels unbearable. Yet, patience allows for deeper understanding and more deliberate actions. It teaches you to trust the natural unfolding of events rather than forcing outcomes. This trust reduces anxiety and cultivates a sense of ease, even when life doesn't adhere to your timeline. Compassion plays a transformative role in acting with serenity. When faced with conflict or difficulty, extending compassion to yourself and others softens tension and opens pathways to resolution. Compassion doesn't condone harmful behavior, but it acknowledges the shared humanity in all of us. This perspective shifts your approach from confrontation to connection, fostering peace both within and around you. Non-attachment, a core Buddhist principle, further enhances serenity. Much of life's unrest stems from clinging to specific desires, identities, or outcomes. Non-attachment doesn't mean giving up on aspirations, but embracing them with an open hand. It's about engaging fully without being defined or constrained by what happens. This practice frees you from the fear of loss or failure, allowing you to act with confidence and tranquility. Equanimity, the ability to remain balanced regardless of external circumstances, is a hallmark of serenity. Developing equanimity involves cultivating inner stability so that your mood or decisions aren't swayed by fleeting highs or lows. This steadiness enables you to approach challenges with a clear mind, unhindered by emotional turbulence. It is not indifference, but a deep, unwavering presence that allows you to act from a place of wisdom. Clarity of purpose is also vital. When your actions align with your values and intentions, they carry a sense of calm certainty. This alignment reduces inner conflict and provides a steady foundation for decision-making. Acting with purpose eliminates the need for second-guessing or regret. As you know, your choices are rooted in integrity. Silence and reflection offer powerful tools for serenity. Creating moments of stillness in your day allows you to step back from the noise of the world and reconnect with your inner self. In silence, you can process emotions, gain perspective, and make deliberate choices. This practice doesn't require long periods. Even a few minutes of quiet can bring profound clarity. Boundaries contribute to serenity by protecting your energy and maintaining balance. Saying no to what drains you or distracts you creates space for what truly matters. Boundaries are not walls, but guidelines that preserve your peace and ensure your actions align with your priorities. They allow you to engage fully without overextending or depleting yourself. Gratitude is another pathway to serenity. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your perspective shifts from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude grounds you in the present and reduces the restless striving that often disrupts peace. This practice transforms even challenging moments into opportunities for growth and appreciation. Mindfulness enhances every aspect of acting with serenity. By staying present, you notice the subtleties of each moment, your emotions, thoughts, and surroundings. This awareness helps you respond intentionally rather than reacting impulsively. Mindfulness turns ordinary actions into moments of connection and presence, deepening your sense of calm. Simplicity also fosters serenity. Reducing mental and physical clutter creates space for clarity and focus. When your environment and schedule are streamlined, you can approach tasks and decisions with a calm, steady mind. Simplicity isn't about deprivation, but about removing distractions to reveal what truly matters. Flexibility is another essential quality for serenity. Life rarely unfolds as planned, and rigid expectations often lead to frustration. Adapting to change with openness and creativity reduces stress and fosters resilience. Flexibility allows you to navigate life's twists and turns with grace, finding solutions and opportunities even in uncertainty. Self-compassion strengthens serenity by reducing self-criticism and fostering a sense of inner support. When you treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend, you create a foundation of peace that sustains you through challenges. This practice reinforces the belief that you are worthy of patience, care, and understanding. Service to others also enhances serenity. Helping someone else shifts your focus from personal struggles to collective well-being. Acts of service, no matter how small, remind you of your capacity to make a difference and create a sense of connection and purpose. This outward focus balances internal concerns and fosters a sense of harmony. The practice of forgiveness liberates you from the weight of resentment and anger, creating space for serenity to flourish. Forgiveness doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it releases the hold that past hurts have on your emotions. This release brings freedom and allows you to move forward with clarity and peace. Acting with serenity is a lifelong practice, one that deepens with time and intention. It is not about eliminating challenges, but about changing how you engage with them. Serenity empowers you to navigate life with confidence, presence, and compassion, creating a ripple effect of peace that touches every aspect of your experience. Serenity teaches us to act with calm and purpose, but sustaining this peace requires a deeper trust in the natural flow of life. So much of our tension arises from wanting things to happen on our timeline, forcing outcomes, or doubting the process. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that everything unfolds in its own time. Patience, trust, and acceptance are not signs of passivity. They are keys to living with genuine peace. When we align with life's rhythm rather than resist it, we find clarity, joy, and freedom. The flow of time is one of life's most constant and yet mysterious forces. When we rush, attempting to accelerate outcomes or control every detail, we create friction with this natural flow. Instead of feeling empowered, we often feel drained, anxious, or disappointed. Trusting that life unfolds as it should allows us to release this pressure. It doesn't mean abandoning effort or goals, but approaching them with a sense of ease, knowing that results come when the conditions are right. Patience is at the heart of this wisdom. In a world of instant gratification, waiting can feel unbearable. Yet, patience is a quiet strength that teaches us to appreciate the process rather than fixate on the destination. Growth, healing, and success all take time, much like a seed growing into a tree. Rushing the process often leads to frustration and missed opportunities to learn from the journey itself. Buddhist teachings emphasize the interconnectedness of all things. Each moment, decision, and action contributes to the larger tapestry of life, even if the effects are not immediately visible. Trusting this interconnectedness helps us let go of the need to see immediate results. Just as a river carves its path over time, our efforts and intentions shape the course of our lives, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Expectations often clash with the natural flow of time. When we cling to rigid ideas about how or when things should happen, we create unnecessary suffering. Letting go of these expectations frees us to experience life as it is, not as we think it should be. This acceptance doesn't mean settling, but opens us to possibilities we might otherwise overlook. By embracing the present, we find opportunities for joy and growth, even in moments of waiting. The practice of mindfulness deepens our relationship with time. When we focus on the present moment, we realize that much of our anxiety comes from living in the future, anticipating, worrying, or striving for what is yet to come. Mindfulness anchors us in the now, reminding us that life is not something to be achieved, but something to be lived. Each breath, each interaction, each moment is complete in itself. Trusting the timing of life also teaches resilience. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to feel defeated or question our path. But challenges often carry hidden lessons or redirections that serve us in the long run. What feels like a setback may be preparing us for something greater. Resilience allows us to navigate these moments with grace, finding strength in uncertainty and trusting that clarity will come. Nature offers countless reminders of life's perfect timing. The changing seasons, the blooming of flowers, and the migration of birds all unfold without haste or delay. Observing these rhythms inspires patience and trust in our own timing. Like nature, we are part of a larger system, one that operates in harmony when we allow it. Gratitude shifts our perspective on timing. Instead of focusing on what we lack or what hasn't yet arrived, gratitude highlights what is already present. This practice fosters a sense of abundance and contentment, reducing the urgency to force things into place. Gratitude helps us see that even in moments of waiting, there is much to appreciate and learn. Compassion for ourselves and others also aligns with the wisdom of timing. Just as we need time to grow, heal, or achieve, so do those around us. Extending patience and understanding to others creates harmony in relationships and reduces conflict. Compassion reminds us that everyone is on their journey, unfolding at their own pace. Letting go of the illusion of control is essential for living in peace. While effort and intention are within our power, the outcomes often depend on factors beyond our influence. Accepting this reality frees us from the constant push to control every aspect of life. This surrender is not weakness, but wisdom, recognizing that life's flow often brings what we need when we need it. The concept of impermanence reinforces the value of timing. Everything in life is transient, from joy to sorrow, success to struggle. This impermanence teaches us to cherish each moment for what it is, knowing that it will pass. By embracing this truth, we reduce our attachment to specific outcomes and find peace in the unfolding journey. Simplicity also supports the practice of trusting timing. When we simplify our expectations, commitments, and desires, we create space for life to flow naturally. This simplicity reduces stress and allows us to focus on what truly matters. It helps us see that many of the pressures we feel are self-imposed and can be released. Faith in the process transforms how we approach challenges and opportunities. Faith doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or relinquishing effort. It means believing that your actions, combined with time, will lead to the right outcomes. This faith provides a steady foundation, reducing doubt and fear while fostering perseverance. Mindful action complements faith. While timing is beyond our control, our efforts are not. Engaging fully in the present moment and giving our best to each task aligns us with life's flow. This practice ensures that when opportunities arise, we are prepared to meet them with clarity and confidence. The power of reflection deepens our trust in timing. Looking back on past experiences often reveals how events unfolded in ways that served us, even if they were unclear at the time. Reflection helps us see patterns, lessons, and growth, reinforcing the belief that life's timing is often wiser than our immediate desires. Living in alignment with time's rhythm fosters freedom and peace. It reduces the stress of striving and allows us to experience life with curiosity and gratitude. This alignment transforms waiting from a burden into a space of possibility where growth and preparation occur. Everything comes in its due time, not as a passive statement, but as an active truth. Trusting this wisdom empowers us to move through life with patience, resilience, and joy, knowing that each moment, each step, and each breath contributes to a journey that is uniquely ours. By embracing this rhythm, we find peace not in controlling life, but in living it fully. Happiness is not something to chase, but a way to live, a practice of gratitude, mindfulness, compassion, and acceptance. By exploring these Buddhist principles, you've taken a powerful step toward creating true joy in your life. From letting go of attachments to embracing change, from building meaningful connections to nurturing the balance of mind and body, every moment becomes an opportunity to align with peace and fulfillment. Happiness starts within, grows through action, and blossoms when shared with others. As you reflect on what you've learned, take a moment to consider which principle speaks to you the most. How will you start applying it to your life today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective and learn from your journey. If this video resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to explore more wisdom like this. Together, let's build a community rooted in joy, growth, and meaningful living. Thank you for watching, and may your journey toward happiness be rich and rewarding.